Okay, everybody. Yeah, I know the drill. Post your flags. Where you from? Where you at? What are you doing? There's a few subjects I wanted to cover, and once again, it's a similar situation to where I had the option of either preparing a video or just shooting the shit live. I've decided to shoot the shit live and open the discussion up to the panel. There's a couple of things I saw that caught my interest. I want to know how people are feeling about tomorrow's fight. Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Yusick. I think that's a fight that has all of our attention right now. Y'all know how I feel about it. Was good, Esan. Was good, Willie Lynch. Um, y'all know how I feel about it by now. It's not an indictment on Usyk. I just think that it's a lot of things that he has to overcome that I'm not really sure that he can with Anthony Joshua. But before we even get into that, there's a lot of other stuff going on. One comment. Was goody ringside views? Was goody Felipe? Was goody AJJJ? Was goody Concha? Was goody Khalif? Capricorns in the building. You already know. Benjo was good. Was good 2 a.m. in the UK. But we got boxing talks. So there was one thing that I saw because Wilder, Fury, that entire conversation is still around. And I saw a Wilderette make a claim. It was a hot take that uh Wilder has a better resume than Triple G. Let me take these headphones off because it felt like I'm underwater. Wilder has a better resume than Triple G. I don't know how many of you guys feel about that, but myself, I don't agree with that. I don't. The main reason for it is Triple G was avoided for a time. And that's not intended to how could I put it? Because his resume is thin. I've always viewed his resume as being thin overall, especially when you had people comparing him to guys like Monzone and Hagler and Hopkins and Jones Jr., just things like that. I always viewed Triple G's resume as being thin. But even compared to Wilder's resume, it's still not that thin. Wilder's resume actually is a lot thinner than Triple G's, if you can believe that. Triple G has a thin resume. He does. But Wilder's resume is even thinner than his. Triple G was avoided for a time, whereas Wilder had the opportunity to fight guys that was around like Jennings and Pulev and Chisora, even if things didn't happen with Povetkin because of the Maldonium, and that is negligible. Even if things didn't happen with him, that's one person. You've been around for 10 years, 10, 11, really 11, 12 years now, and there's really no excuse for it. Things didn't really pick up till 2015, whereas Wilder went pro in 2008, 2009. With Triple G, it's a different situation because everybody was avoiding this guy. There were a lot of people that were avoiding this guy. That is the truth. That's not me crying him a river. That's the truth. But even with being avoided, he still fought Daniel Gill. He still fought Matthew Macklin, Martin Murray, Curtis Stevens. He still fought guys that they was like semi-solid guys for that era of middleweights because there weren't a lot of middleweights that he didn't fight. And eventually, he did get around to fighting them. He got around to fighting Daniel Jacobs and David Lemieux and people like that. Whereas all Wilder really did was beat Luis Ortiz. Outside of that Luis Ortiz win, what dope shit is in there? What dope shit? Daniel Gill dropped the belt to avoid him initially. Yeah, I remember that because Daniel Gill was the original WBA champion. And I'm like, if you really been watching this shit and you gonna call it down the middle, no, I don't think Triple G has a very good resume. I don't. But it's still more robust than Wilder's. I have to say that. And I'm gonna open this discussion up to the panel. It was just me shooting the shit yesterday, but I want to have an open discussion of several subjects tonight because we got a big fight tomorrow, Joshua versus Usyk, and I want to see how everybody else is feeling. You know what I mean? Some people I see they picking Usyk to knock him out. Some people think Usyk gonna outbox him. I see a lot of people feel Anthony Joshua will outbox him. So we're gonna open up the discussion to the panel. Hey, what's goody Sophia? What's goody Antonio? Onyx Mills, Dora Ryan. Now, I would say that, Isan. I would say that because at least Daniel Gill could say that he was a real full-fledged world champion for a time. Ortiz can't say that. Ortiz can't say that. if we do a comprehensive study of the people that, for example, Curtis Stevens knocked out Patrick Teixeira, right? Years ago at middleweight. Patrick Teixeira went on to become a champion. So you could say that that's a victory that aged well for Curtis Stevens. In turn, that's a victory that aged well for Gennady Golovkin. People are going to compare Triple G to Prince Nassim Ahmed. Good fighter with no marquee wins. People crack me up with that noise. All right, we got the panel popping. Got the panel popping. All right, hold up. Let me just fix the joint. All right, let me see. It's not letting me get y'all on. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. I think my joint is acting up again. It must be acting up again. Every time I got to do an update, it does this. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, see, this joint is wilding. Hold on, let me do this via the. Let me see if I could do this remotely via the other joint. I bet. So let me see if I could do this via the other joint, because this every time I gotta update my browser, it does this. It's so annoying. I bet. Add. I don't know why it's not letting me add everybody. Hold on, I'm gonna do it right here. I'm gonna enter the broadcast from my phone and do it in there. I bet. That's one.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
That's two.
You.
Let me see. Let me add Mark to the joint. And Leo. Let me see. Allow. Hold up. Close that. And then I'm going to. Jimbo. I'm going to be Jimbo. All right. But add. Then.
What up with it?
Let me be Jimbo.
Guess. He's gonna deafen us all, fellas.
Oh my God. Y'all good? Y'all all good?
Evening, fellas.
Yeah. Yeah, can you
I can't
hear
hear
us?
none of y'all.
You need to
Y'all
turn your
talking?
sound
I
up.
can hear you. I can hear
We are
you.
talking. It's goody, Mark.
We're talking.
Hold up, let me go back. Oh my God, having technical difficulties. These technical difficulties. Is y'all talking? Cause I can't even hear none of y'all.
Yeah, we talking.
We're talking. We're here.
We're all here. What's up, fellas? God bless.
Hello, Mark. What's up, Mark?
What's good, Mark?
Oh shit. Oh.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I can't hear him at all.
Yo, hey, yo, Jay, if you can hear me, Jay, if you can hear me, we can't hear you, bro. You sound like you want to.
You can hear me? You can hear me?
Yeah.
Now I can hear you. Yeah.
All
We
right,
hear you
bet.
now.
I'm gonna update my browser on the laptop. Let me. It always does this when I gotta update my browser, man. Let me see. Where's that update? That update bullshit. Let me see. Let me. Blah 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 blah.
It's so crazy to me that this is one of the best editors we have, and he doesn't know how to use a fucking browser.
All right. You hear me? All right. So the first thing I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna go around the panel. I'm gonna start off with the wildest shit because I don't want to get into the Usyk Joshua bullshit just yet. Start off with the panel. With the wildest shit. Do you? I'm gonna start off with AJJJJ. Do you think Wilder has a thinner or more robust body of work?
I think he's got the thinnest resumes in general. So yes, absolutely. I mean, pretty much, Wilder fans will pretty much they're so far gone from reality at this point. I take literally nothing they say seriously. Yeah, his resume is definitely thinner than Golovkin's because, as you said earlier, Golovkin was actively avoided. There are several people in Deontay Wilder's division who tried to fight him and who actively pursued to fight him, but he refused to fight them. So you know. But yeah, he has a thinner resume, most definitely.
All right. Isan, how do you feel about that same question? You think Wilder has a thinner or a more robust body of work than Gennady Golovkin?
Definitely thinner, for sure. Way thinner. It's not even comparable, honestly. Luis Ortiz is like, what, Daniel Gill to Triple G? No?
Okay. I'm gonna take it to damn my fucking eyes, man. Give me a sec.
Hey, you guys can't hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I
Yeah,
bet because I got the lap.
Okay, I didn't know. Forgot what I said.
All right. Fucking shit. This shit is wild, B. All right, bet. Let me take this out. All right, bang. All right, y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
this mother. All right. Back to the question. All right, Wilder, Gennady Golovkin. Who's that up there? I can't even see who that is. Let me see. Hold up.
It might be me.
All right, Mark. I know what you going to say, but just elaborate. Wilder and I mean, like to me, it's an immediate no. But are Wilder and Gennady Golovkin's resumes comparable?
No. Not remotely. You want elaboration? Actual elaboration?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Break it down.
Yeah, Golovkin's beaten twice the amount of top 10 opponents ranked consensusly between TBRB and Ring Magazine that Deontay Wilder has done. He has been a unified champion in his division. He picked up his most recent title. So he was able to bounce back from losing a title and becoming a champion again. With a win over a top-tier contender, top 10 consensus again in the Derevianchenko. He beat David Lemieux. He beat Daniel Jacobs. For what it's worth, Daniel Jacobs is better than any win on Deontay Wilder's resume. So there you go.
I agree with that.
And if you want to, even if you want to say, okay, yeah, if you want to give him the loss to Canelo and the draw, if you want to even give him the draw instead of giving him the win, whatever, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. The draw with Canelo is better than anything. It's better than the draw with Fury.
No, I mean, they both have the same number of losses. Both guys have only ever campaigned at one weight, but Golovkin was unified in his division. He has held the Ring Magazine title in his division. All the other boxes tick off. He has fought more top 10 contenders over a longer period of time than Deontay Wilder has. So I'm not seeing how somebody could come to that conclusion that, like, look, Golovkin's resume is thin. It ain't even like that shit it is thin, but it's still a lot thicker than Wilder's resume. I'm like, bro, what's on there besides Luis Ortiz? Please tell me. Chris Arreola?
Bermain Stavern is a champion.
Yeah, but I mean, he is, and I give him that.
Artur Szpilka.
But for Bermain Stavern, I raise you David Lemieux. Malik Scott.
Dominic
For every Malik Scott, I give you Matthew Macklin. Honestly, look at the win. Look at the Gabe Rosado win. It's aging like fine wine.
Listen,
the Gabe Rosado win, the Martin Murray win. Come on, man.
That's what I was going to say. Martin Murray, to me, is a better win than Malik Scott because
Murray should have been a champion going into that fight though, because he beat Martinez.
All right. So I mean, I guess that's kind of a dead subject because we all kind of feel the same. There's really no debate there across the board.
Only a certain group feels that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it caught me off guard because I haven't heard a bad take like that in a long time.
Wait. You weren't just asking for the bats. This is a take?
Yeah, somebody said that on Twitter, and I'm like, Golovkin's resume like thinner than Wilder's? Are you nuts? Bro, Wilder fought
Is this what this about?
I mean, no, because we're gonna get into the Joshua Usyk shit, and I want to shoot the shit a little bit about Kambosos Lopez too, but because I'm hearing that Kambosos don't want to sign a fucking contract now. He don't want to move.
Oh my god!
It's well out here. It's well out here. I seen the news yesterday. I seen the news yesterday. They was like,
Do
yo,
it, George. Don't sign the contract. Make it so the title
yeah,
goes
fuck that
vacant.
shit. It's fucking Murphy's Law, bro. Anything that can go
You blame
wrong.
him? He's gonna get him stripped. He's gonna get him stripped. That's why he's not doing it. Because you get stripped and you'll have the title. I don't blame you. Sorry, Drew.
I mean, if George doesn't do the fight, can they strip Tio? If George doesn't do the fight, can they strip Tio?
No, they really can't because Tio is on board, and if Tio is on board to do the fight, and if they move it to the 16th, it still meets the IBF deadline. If George don't sign the shit, it's kind of like you forfeiting your title shot almost. That's how it looked like right now. Like
the only way George can get away with
Drew,
doing
even
that
if
is
they
if
put
Triller.
it back twice.
Guys, just listen to me. Give us
Put it back twice. Drew.
Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko 2.
He
Right?
not going.
If you don't want to sign a contract, you don't
Thank
want to
you.
sign a contract.
Thank
He
you.
don't want to. He don't want to do that
Bro,
shit, bro. Like,
Be honest,
I know,
would you
I
sign
know.
that contract?
But
Would you sign that contract? Because I wouldn't sign that
you know,
contract.
George.
I'm
gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. If I'm George, I sign this shit just to get it over with because at this point you've already waited so long, and this has gotten delayed so much. What's 2 more weeks, right? What's two you, bro? You supposed to have this fight when it was hot in the summer. What's 2 more weeks, bro? Sign that shit and just wait and get it over with, B. Because the other thing I'm gonna say is the longer it takes, I don't feel it favors Teofimo Lopez, who was already busting at the seams, who was already outgrowing his division. I don't really think it favors him that much to have to wait more and more and more for this fight. I don't think it favors him because you was already ready. You was ready to move up before you fought Lomachenko.
Drew, ain't one of the other belts going to call their mandatories in? Do you know what I mean? If one of the other belts calls in their mandatories, they're going to clash, innit? Do you know what I mean? That's why Campbell might be open.
Who we relying on doing that, bro? The WBC or the WBA? Who we relying on to do their job? Who we relying on to do their job?
Good point.
Yeah, don't do him like that, Jay. That's me.
No. Because the WBO it seems like Loma could become a mandatory by way of the WBO. It seems like that could happen. So that only leaves the other mandatories with the WBC, which ain't gonna come because he a franchise champion. He don't have no mandatories with them.
Facts.
And then it's the WBA, and they mandatory ain't due yet. So it's like, well, ain't nobody gonna order nothing except the IBF and the WBO. So the next mandatory really would have to be Loma, but he not there yet. He's not a mandatory. He didn't fight in no eliminator for them to order nothing. So it's like, who are we relying on to do their job? Who?
This is why I love your channel. You schools me, brother. Nice one.
Ain't shit. It's just one of them things, man. Like it's certain situations I know that people not gonna do their job. You know what I mean? It's certain situations. That's one of them. Ain't nobody gonna do their job at 135. Nobody.
Yeah, look, Julius. The second anybody starts asking the sanctioning bodies, "Hey, yo, we need you to do something," like it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, like 135 to me is a dead division. It's a dead division. No, the best fights that division can produce are not gonna happen. And we got a lot of background noise, man. Mute your mics. The best fights that division has to offer are not gonna happen. So it's like, what's the point in even talking about it? The only reason I'm talking about Lopez and Kambosos is because it's a punchline at this point. It's a running gag. How bad this has all turned out. And this is what I've said from the beginning, that I don't know why people are celebrating that shit, because this don't look like it's going to be a good move. If we got Lomachenko versus Lopez on regular ESPN, how do you then turn around and ask us to pay for a Kambosos fight? That don't make no sense.
Only in America, brother. Only in America.
When you buy, you gonna buy it?
I don't know, man. I mean, it's only like, what is it, $50 now? It's like it's only $50, but what the fuck else is on the card?
Now it's 50. It was 20. It was 20, but now it's 50.
Yeah,
I still can't believe.
Can't
believe they
only.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say only $50, right? Only $50. That could be spent on something you actually want.
I know, but at the end of the day, I make a lot of money off the sport, so I feel inclined to contribute. You know what I mean? Because it's the truth. Like, I make a lot of money off the sport. So,
By keeping pay-per-view alive.
I mean, it's just one of those things that, like, if I want to do a recap
Well said,
about the fight, if I want to do a recap about the fight, or I want to talk about the fight, I don't want to be like these guys that's making like they stealing all these motherfucking fights. Like, I don't want to do that. So,
But I'm gonna hit you with
It's
something,
LL
bro.
Cool J.
Hold on, I'm gonna hit you with something, Jay. Right? You're a consumer, right? And at the end of the day, as you've said to all of your viewers, you got to be happy with the product you're purchasing. Are you happy purchasing that?
but it also depends on what lands on that card. That's another thing that's kind of important for me. It's
Julius,
also,
is LL Cool J on that card? I thought he was in a battle rap Busta Rhymes. That's
I
what I
mean,
was hearing.
I don't care about those versus battles, to be honest. Like, I know a lot of old heads like me get nostalgic when it comes to those versus battles, but I drew the line at Ja Rule and Fat Joe. I never really gave a fuck about either of them. Like, unless if it's Jermaine Dupri and Diddy, I might fuck with it. But I kind of already know Diddy gonna win that. Diddy gonna win that because Diddy got more hits than Jermaine. Jermaine got a lot of hot songs, but Diddy got mad fucking songs that he could play. So it's like, what am I really
Diddy's
paying
trying
for?
to go at Dre. He's
I think
trying to go
Diddy
at
and
Dr.
Dre is,
Dre now.
bro. Diddy and Dre is a better. I'll watch that. Diddy and Dre, I'll watch
Yeah.
that. But
Do you think that boosts the sales though? Having LL Cool J and Busta Rhymes on the card.
When's the last time Jermaine Dupri made a hot song? Like, for real?
I don't even know who that is.
Bruh, like the last hot shit
a
that I
hip-hop
remember he
producer.
made was Welcome to Atlanta. That's the last hot song I remember that he made. Welcome to Atlanta.
Yo, but you, let me ask you
20
this,
years
right?
ago.
I paid for my Sky subscription, £100 a month, right? £100 a month Sky subscription. Then I paid for my BT Sports on top of that, $20. Then I paid for my DAZN, seven quid. And then so you're talking that. Then I got my Fire Stick. Then I got that. I don't pay the pay-per-views you pay. Does it add up more or less? Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean, I completely understand anybody out there that decides not to buy it, because most people are going to decide not to buy it. That's just the fucking truth. The only saving grace that they have is if it's a good versus battle, because then people will buy it because of that. As far as that fight, I've been saying it for damn near a year. It's not a fucking $6 million fight. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck what allegiances people have, because a lot of people, that's my wife over there yelling. I don't care about what allegiances people have. I don't care if Teofimo's your neighbor. I don't care if he was your high school buddy. That's not a $6 million fight.
Look, but what I'm saying, Joe, is like you
Okay,
get
I buy it.
Ghost, you get ESPN, you get Fox. Does it come in one subscription for you lot over there, or you got a satellite subscription, or what?
Well, no,
It's multiple subscriptions. It's multiple subscriptions.
Yeah, like you have the option of having cable, but most people are cutting the cord here in America because there's a lot of channels that most Americans are realizing they don't watch and they don't need. So they're only subscribing to the channels that they do watch. For example, it's a lot of channels. I got Disney Plus for my kids, ESPN, HBO, and Showtime for myself, plus the Zone, and I'm Amazon Prime member, so it's a whole bunch of shit right there that I get
got
for free.
Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, I got all that. I pay for all. I got Netflix. So what I'm saying, my
Netflix.
normal.
Yeah, exactly.
What I
Like I
got
got that shit. I got Netflix. I got Hulu. So it's like, bro, what do I need cable on top of all that for? I don't even watch TV like that.
You know the funny thing,
I
though,
got
Julius?
Netflix, Sky. I got
If-
Netflix, Sky, and BT in my bed. That's all I got.
If you go on this trend, your bill is gonna look like a cable
you
bill
know that's
because they're gonna replace these cable channel with apps now. I think
Yeah,
that's
I
the
mean,
new
no, I
thing.
mean that's the way to
Bro.
go. Like if you don't watch,
you
it
can't.
should
You gotta
be.
have everything. You can't rely on it. You gotta have everything. You gotta have
Yeah,
everything.
like if you,
otherwise-
it should be more tailor made to the individual, because if you look at how many channels you get on cable, nobody's watching all that shit, bro. It's mad channels on there that a
100%.
motherfucker.
Bro, the other
Bro,
day I was
don't
looking.
watch.
Bro, the other day I was thinking to myself, what used to be on my fucking cable and shit, and I'm like watching fucking all this shit. Like we had watching SYFY, which is like a shit sci-fi channel, and all this shit. Like I never watched that. I never watched ITV7.
Yeah,
I
man.
watch
Like,
ITV2.
yeah, man. Like I like the way that it is now because I occasionally watch shit on HBO Max. I occasionally watch Showtime or occasionally watch something on Netflix. Most of the time, I don't watch TV like that. So between my Amazon Prime membership and everything that gets me, Hulu, Netflix, Showtime, HBO, plus ESPN and DAZN. I'm like, bro, I'm good. I only really watch sports and occasional movies or documentaries.
Jew,
Other
how
than
much?
that,
How
And
much
the
you
odd
paying a
anime
month, Jew?
here, hold on, and the odd anime
Jew, how much
here
you
or
paying a
there
month?
if you've got Hulu.
Oh, right there, Mark, right there. How much you paying a month, Jew, on bills? On your bills for your TV for White Side? How much you paying a month?
I mean, it's got to be. I would say a month. It's got to be at least 100 to 200. It has to be.
That's me. I'm paying 200 quid a month. About 200 quid a month, bro.
And then you tack on the pay-per-views. You tack on the odd pay-per-view that's actually worth buying, and you're looking at about 300. Roughly
Now,
300.
and this is where I come down.
I ain't got the pay-per-views, bro.
Hold on.
£200 a month.
You tack on all that, it's roughly around 200, right? Beforehand, Jills, right? Before you tack it all on. So this is what I say. Do you really want to spend $50 for a fight you don't even really give a fuck about? And I'm gonna be dead ass. I'm gonna be dead ass here when I say this. For a fight where they have changed the price, they have changed the date, all in order to fleece you of extra money.
Well, bear
That's
in mind,
bullshit.
I haven't made up my mind because at the end of the day, I don't really want Triller to stay in boxing. I don't. I don't know what kind of mom and pop shop operation they got going on over there, but if I buy it, I'm actually encouraging them. At the same time, if I want to discuss the fight on a weekend recap, well, the fucking shit is on a Monday unless they move it. If I want to discuss the fight, I gotta watch the motherfucker. So it's like, even though if the fight doesn't last long, like let's say Lopez goes in there, he blasts this guy out of there in a round, I'm gonna feel fucking stupid, which is why I'm debating if I should buy it. Because I'm like, yo, if this shit lasts around, that's $50.
Right. See, that's why I'm not. That's why I'm not buying it. That's why I'm not paying for it.
No way.
Yeah, if they're comboing this boxing events with versus, it just means that they don't have confidence in the standalone product of boxing. That they
Well,
don't
I
think
think
the
that
context. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this on Virtuoso. Eddie Hearn's comment was very revealing. They didn't know the market value of a fight in the United States, but now they do, which is a big part of why Prograis versus Garcia got delayed. Mikey Garcia, he talked about the shit first. And he said that, DAZN could not afford, right? And that was bull. I knew that was bullshit. Like, bro, they got money. You want too much money. You want in excess of the market value of the fight in a guaranteed purse. And they ain't about to give you that because now they know you're not worth that. And we're not just going to give you that. Before we didn't know. Now we know. And I'm sorry. Nah, we're not going to give you that. You bugging out. We'll come back to the fight after you do the Sandor Martin fight, and we could get a fix on what you're actually worth based on the numbers. Because what's going on in America now is every fucking fighter that halfway has a name, they want to get in excess of their market value. Motherfuckers in your own stable, in your own promotional banners ain't paying you like that. DAZN is not about to do that for you anymore. They established. They're not about to do that for you anymore.
Jew, in the UK, we would not pay 80 quid a pop for a pay-per-view. There would be riots, mate. I swear to God, there would be riots for 80 quid a pop. I don't understand how you lot pay it. I don't understand. You got 360 odd million people in your country, and you still don't sell over 2 million. Come on, bro.
Why do you think I'm such a big advocate of DAZN as a platform? Because that's value for money. You get year-round boxing for roughly the same price as one pay-per-view. Roughly. An average pay-per-view in America is $80. A DAZN annual subscription is a little over $100. They're in the same neighborhood. But America is a very weird place. I don't know who in their right mind would want more pay-per-view. Like, look at the 4 months. And I've surmised this. You have Wilder versus Fury as a pay-per-view, Porter versus Crawford as a pay-per-view, Canelo versus Plant as a pay-per-view, motherfucking Gervonta Davis next fight, which is going to be in December, that's a pay-per-view, and I think I'm missing one. I think there's one, and that's like 4 pay-per-views in the span of 3 months. It's ridiculous out here. Who got an echo?
Crawford Porter. Did you say that one? Did you say that one?
Me.
Yeah, I don't know who's got the
I just don't understand. It's like, because like where you got like so rich and so poor in your country, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
I'm gonna let Punch on the panel because I think he arguing with somebody in the chat. He said, "But you asking why people shouldn't pay, but the reason people are paying may be different than yours." I'm gonna let Punch on the panel because I think he's talking about the Lopez pay-per-view.
He's speaking to me.
Oh, that's yeah, because I'm like, I see he talking to somebody. I was like, who you arguing with?
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, I'm like I said, I'm debating, I'm on the fence because it's only $50 at the end of the day. Y'all make room for Punch, man. We got like 13 motherfuckers backstage. I'm gonna make room for Punch if he want to join. I'm debating if I should buy it because on one end it is only $50, but on the other end I know it's really not worth it. It's just no, as a card, as a pay-per-view event, no, it's not worth it. And I don't have fealty to Team Lopez. I'm not a member of their team. I do not run interference for them. I am not their publicist. I really don't give a shit about their wallet. So I'm like, yo, dog, that shit is wasteful if I buy that shit.
And on top of that, you $50, it's not going to the fighter. $10 is going to the fighter. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
The $40 going other places.
All right, so Punch, you Punch ain't gonna buy the pay-per-view because he going to the shit. Little does everybody know. He's going to the shit. So he don't gotta worry about buying the pay-per-view. But for the people out there that think that it's not value for money, because personally, I don't think it's value for money. I don't think it's a solid card. Franchon ain't even gonna be on the shit, so it really ain't a solid card. What do you have to say to those people?
No. With those people that feel like the fight is not worth it, that's fair. I'm not even gonna question somebody because that's a consumer. I'm just saying that all the consumers is not buying it for the same reason. It's like, for example, like we couldn't understand how a Gervonta Tank Davis and a Mario Barrios got a packed house. It's not about Mario Barrios. It's people just want to pay to see Gervonta Tank Davis. There's people that they don't care about the Cambosas and Teofimo, but they might just want to pay to see Teofimo. So it's not only about, like mentioning that, oh, it's not worth to pay the pay-per-view. I understand that's not a pay-per-view fight whatsoever. Everybody knows that. But that doesn't mean that people are not willing to pay to see that particular fighter. Just like if you go to a Jay-Z concert and he might have a bunch of artists, but you're really just paying to see Jay-Z and everything is the cherry on top. You know what I'm saying? So I think people should. It's not that people shouldn't say don't buy the pay-per-view. I think that people should add that not every consumer is the same thing. It's buying it for the same reasons.
That gets oddly specific, though, doesn't it?
Nah, because it's easy to say, oh, don't buy the pay-per-view for example, Julius was saying that he might buy the pay-per-view. Why? He's on the fence, but he also mentioned that he's a boxing content creator and is also giving back. He's made money off the content creators, off these fighters as well, just like me. So I feel, my opinion, I feel like I got a duty also to pay for Leo Santa Cruz and Gervonta Tank Davis that I didn't want to pay for, but also if people donate to my channel and people are willing to see me break down the fight or have a live commentary, that's me giving back to the channel.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm gonna say, Punch. This is why I'm on the fence, right? On one end, we know that it's the American market more than the UK market is oversaturated with guys that's trying to sell us pay-per-views. It ain't even just like real boxing and real boxers. It's the fake Jake Paul shit. Motherfucking Paulie Malignaggi about to have a celebrity boxing match. It's like it's really getting crazy out here with these fucking pay-per-views. Everybody has a pay-per-view. The TikTokers got a YouTuber versus all this pay. It's like, yo, dog, like where do we draw the line as consumers? Even as a content creator, I'm like, yo, dog, like y'all want $80 to $160 in pay-per-views every other fucking month. And that card, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yo, who's really on that card that I should pay $50? Who's really on that card? On one end, I'm like, yeah, I make bread and all of that. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, dog, that shit is really not worth it, dog. There's a line. For me, there's a line. I drew it with Gervonta Davis. I did. I'm like, yo, dog, I'm not buying none of that bullshit. You ain't fought shit. You ain't fighting shit. With this, it's a little different because, Cambosos is a mandatory. He been tied up with all this bullshit. And you know how I feel about this because I said it before. If this thing don't do well, it's going to make him look bad. I don't want him to look bad, but it's going to make him look bad. And that's the truth.
Nah, all that right there is fair. It's fair. I'm not trusting the October 16th date. I'm looking at the October 30th date that there is nobody there, but it's an open date for Top Rank and ESPN
Oh
Plus.
God.
And I'm thinking that, you know what? Something is gonna happen. Teofimo
Oh,
Lopez
just
gonna go
keep it
back
real
to
with
Top
me,
Rank.
Punch. Keep it real with me, Punch. Is Triller gonna default? Because I'm getting default vibes. I'm getting default vibes.
I'm 50. I'm 50. I'm not convinced. Put it that way. I'm
I
not
feel like
convinced that
I
I'm
feel
not
like
convinced that it's gonna happen on the 16th. To be honest, I'm not convinced.
I
And
Yo,
feel
Punch,
like
keep it real with me though. Have they shown proof of funds to pay to you?
yes.
They have.
Mhm.
In full? In full?
Nah, nothing in full. Nah. He signed. Right. They gave him a bonus when he signed for the purse bid. He already got a money for that. Now there's a money right now sitting on escrow that if it don't happen on the 16th, they have to forfeit money. And
yeah,
I think that in my
Yeah.
let me
in
put
my
it this way.
opinion,
Let me put it this way, Mark. The money, the 6 mil is real. The 6 mil is there because if the 6 mil wasn't there, I forgot what the process was. Somebody broke it down to me, but they got the 6 mil. They do have it. If they didn't have it, they wouldn't be able to move ahead. So if they do have it, it's more along the lines of they gotta make a decision because if you do this fight, it's a chance you're gonna lose that 6 mil and you ain't gonna make it back.
The thing is though, they did have it. Do they still? They've taken many loss.
That's true.
and I think and you know what, if they do take a loss, I think they willing to take one more loss and forfeit, give whatever is on the escrow to Teofimo Lopez. Let them take that minimal loss that what they could potentially lose if they do go with the fight. You understand? I'm not neglecting that they might lose a lot of money that people might not pay for the pay-per-view the way they thought coming in and buying the purse bid and things of that nature. So I think this is what I'm thinking right now. My mind is saying that it might not happen, it's not gonna happen. Whatever's on the escrow is not full amount. Probably it's 1.2 mil, something like that. Boom, give it to Teofimo Lopez. Let him do what he did with Top Rank, and they're gonna do that fight in October 30th. That's my conspiracy.
That's what I'm thinking. Because the thing is, if I'm Ryan Kavanaugh and I ain't really getting bread, I don't have Jake Paul no more, right? It might be cheaper to default than to do the fight. You do the fight, you might lose 6, or you might lose 5 or 4. If you default, you only lose 1. You lose 1, that'll go to the fighters. They split it down the middle with each other based on the based on the split, but you only lose 1. If you do the fight, you might lose 2 or 3 or 4 or 6. If I'm them, I default. Now we know Matchroom placed the second highest purse bid, but Matchroom might let Top Rank get the fight just because you know what? That's your fucking fighter. We don't want to spend $3 million on that fucking fight anyway. Y'all can have it. Y'all can have it and let it go to Bob.
And I don't want it to go to a default. But the thing is, they already proven to me and proven to everybody else that they really don't want the fight. They really don't want this event. So I'm gonna keep the same energy as a consumer that is not gonna happen. Come on, y'all teased me already like 4 times. I'm looking like a crazy dude making videos after
How many
videos.
times has this been pushed back? Punch 5 or 4? 4 or 5?
It
Like
had
5 times.
Nah, it got pushed back 4, but it had 5 dates because remember initially
Okay.
it was June 5th, then Juneteenth, then they was looking at August, then they was looking at September.
Yeah, that's
So
what
if they
it's,
go to
it's more than
October, if
5.
they go to October
It's
30th,
more than
that's
5.
5 pushed back 6 days.
It's
Yeah.
June 5th, June
Oh,
19th, August 14th, September 11th, October 5th, October 4th, and now October 16th.
It's well out here, yo.
Has honestly on in terms of like this happen? Has that ever happened?
I've never seen this.
Maybe
before.
behind closed
Never.
doors.
Maybe
what I'ma
behind
say.
closed doors, but I'm talking about from like the point of view, like in the fans' eyes, like we're talking about like somebody wins a purse bid and the fight gets pushed back 5 times.
It's well out here, yo.
Because I remember, put it this way,
Never heard of it.
I remember, like little insight, it's already a long time ago. They was thinking about putting Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather on in January. And I heard this because my new Michael Buffer's best friend is Mark Packer. He the one that he owns a bunch of clubs in New York. So he already signed a $1 million deal to do the fight, the Manny Pacquiao fight and the Floyd Mayweather fight to do on January on that same year. Something like that. And they was postponing they was going through certain contracts just to do the fight. So things happen behind the scenes. The only thing that the thing with this is happening right before our eyes. Is happening publicly.
Yeah, that's really the only difference. That this is that all the postponements are public, but it's mostly because too. And I don't know if this is true, but I just have this feeling that that Top Rank, that PBC, and that basically all the major outfits want to push Triller out. I have that feeling because that's how it happens when you the new kid on the block. You get that hazing, and I feel like low key they getting laughed at, they getting hazed every time some bad news happens. The shit hits the fan, and it's all over the media. It's all over the place.
I'm gonna take it like this. Y'all remember the problem with the the undisputed heavyweight title fight. I got to the point, all this flip-flopping by Bob, by Eddie, but Frank Warren, he kept it consistent. He never said this fight is going to go through, right? And I said, whenever Frank Warren said it's going to go through, I'm going to believe it's going to go through. Now, I haven't heard Lou DiBella say nothing about this, but he's promoting the fight. This is his promotion. And he's taking the lead. And he's not
quiet.
saying nothing.
And he quiet. He real quiet. Like most motherfuckers. Like
you can't
entertainment fighter.
Yeah, you can't shut Lou DiBella up if he's got something guaranteed. You can't shut the fucker up.
Exactly. So I say, in this situation, until I hear Lou DiBella tweet something, say something, I don't believe this fight is going to happen on the 16th.
I mean, worst comes to worst, they default, they lose $1 million, but they lose $1 million to save $5 million. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
And I think this is why this is why Teofimo Lopez is not as frustrated as he was probably a couple months ago before they did the IBF thing and lawyers got involved.
Listen, the ideal scenario for Teofimo at this point, let Triller default, let ESPN do the fight on regular ESPN. It'll do 1 million views to 2 million views because that's what the Lomachenko fight did. Most people forgot that was the most watched fight of 2020 in this country. It was Lopez versus Lomachenko. It did upwards of 2 million views. All right. That's the ideal scenario because you need to get buzzing again because you're not buzzing right now. You're not buzzing right. We all buzzing off of Joshua and Yusick and some cats is fake buzzing about Wilder versus Fury. I'm not. I know I'm not buying that fight. Like y'all not getting my money for this bullshit.
And then the thing is also is that their manager wants them to default. McWaters want this shit to default.
Yeah, because it's like if they default, that $1 million deposit, which is really a little over $1 million, that goes straight to the fighters. Yeah. So regardless of who get the fight after that, the pot is still bigger than it would have been if Top Rank would have did the fight at first. My thing is, y'all lost a lot of time and a lot of momentum on this shit, man. This shit is not a good way to use your time, B. Boxers got a short shelf life. You don't have forever. You lost a year on this cat, man. Fucking with Triller. I hope Golden Boy not fucking with Triller too, because if they go over there, we're gonna be seeing more shit like this. They have shown they cannot handle an ordinary fight. This is not a big fight. This is an ordinary fight. And they cannot handle it.
But do you think that the Oscar's going to go over to Triller? Do you really think he's going to get rid of his own to Triller?
It's possible. I hope that the business affairs of Golden Boy Promotions are not left in the hands of Oscar De La Hoya, because I said this. They committed to doing De La Hoya versus Belfort. Why? I don't know. Nobody asking for that fucking fight. It ain't some hot fucking fight that need to happen, but they're committed to doing it. They want to do the shit in Thanksgiving. That's what they said. And I'm like, why y'all still trying to do that fight? Let me find out y'all got some kind of deal or some shit going on, because y'all really committed to doing that fight, even though ain't nobody asking for that shit. That's a sign. They're like, yo, why y'all so stuck on that fucking fight, man? Nobody care about that shit. Nobody want to see that shit.
I can't think of another point in history, in boxing history, where the market is high for fucking retirees to fight each other.
Hey, man.
Never, brother. Never.
Hey,
I mean, the only thing, to be honest, yeah, of course, I'm a fan of Tio, and I don't want this. It's because that move was more like empowering move. You know what I'm saying? He wanted his worth. It was motivation. It was inspirational that he was just going to get what he felt like he was worth, right? A lot of people, even the people that don't like Teofimo Lopez, even congratulate him for him putting his 10 toes down and almost like fighting for yours. And now it seems like all of that is like being diminished. And it feels like if you translate it to life itself, it's like don't fight for yours. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I mean, we got two very different views on that punch. We got two very different views because I know if Top Rank would have did that fight on regular ESPN, that boy numbers would have been high. They would have been high if they would have did the fight when they wanted to do the fight at the price that they had to fight. His numbers still would have been high, like his viewership for the fight, because he just beat Lomachenko. If he goes in there and he gets a highlight reel knockout with Kambosos, he probably get 1 million, maybe 2 million views on regular ESPN, and you buzzing, you popping. The way that it happened, right? The people that you went to, they fuck around, ain't even gonna do the fight. Fuck around.
Listen,
So what was it for?
if
For it to
Triller,
go
Yeah,
back to Top
I
Rank.
think
But you remember what McWater said in that interview? He said if they just would have gave us 2 mil, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
if they would have reconstructed a contract, because they already did, so they must have felt guilty somewhere
I mean,
down the line.
bro, I dig that, but it's like they was gonna restructure his like the way I'm looking at it, right? They was gonna have to do that anyway. They was gonna have to restructure his shit anyway. The Kambosos fight was just some shit for you to get it out the way. It was not a big fight. And remember, the audiences when all that shit happened, the audiences wasn't even all the way back yet, so you couldn't even have people there. You don't have that arm of revenue, right? Lomachenko gets what he gets because not just what ESPN gives Bob, but because of other shit that he got going on. So that's why he was getting paid the way he was getting paid. Feel me? Lopez was not in a place yet where you need to be having them arguments. And the fear was, you burning bridges, you hurting, you straining relationships that you have that you gonna need moving forward with this shit. This a baby ass fight. Get it out the way, right? Get it out the way, do your numbers, and then you'll restructure your contract after that. There will be a time and a place for that. The way it broke down, the boy lost a year. He lost a year because if you do fight him on the 16th or the 30th, you still lost a year. And for what? For Top Rank to do the fight anyway? Because it might go to Top Rank. If they default, I don't think Matchroom want to pay $3 million for that shit. Not now. Like, man, we have a better understanding of what fights are worth in the American market, and we're not putting up 3 for that. We're not putting up 3 for that. So y'all can have that. Let it go to Bob and let him do it. If it happens that way, that makes all of this a massive waste of time because they was going to restructure your contract anyway. They was going to do that anyway. They would have had to.
I think with the bonus, with the signing bonus and whatever he's gonna get, on escrow, and then fight the Kambosos fight on the Top Rank, he's still gonna be making the money like if he did fighting, the Triller deal.
I mean, look, we'll see, man. The shit is this fucking fight has turned into like it's not just this fight, it's Triller as a whole. Because it's like, bro, what the fuck are y'all trying to do, B? Like, what are y'all trying to do? I want to get off of Kambosos.
I don't even know what their content is, bro.
What is their content?
You know what it was?
Bro, hold on, though. But like, let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. I figured if all the boys gonna jump on this platform, right? And they want to compete with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing, man. I think they should lower the price for competitive prices. You know what I mean? Entice the fans to pick and choose what they want to see. You know,
Virtuoso.
Because if you're gonna stay in the game, you can't be charging people like $30 a month and 200,
Virtuoso,
yearly.
Unless they app is as and this is the only way. This is literally the only fucking way I would get this app. Unless this app is in the price range of $3 to $5 a month, even with Golden Boy cards. No, dog, y'all wildin'. Golden Boy don't even be putting on cards like that. What am I paying for every month? What would I be paying for? Unless it's $3 or $5, y'all not getting no monthly. And look at what they do.
If this was for a cable channel, a cable company was like, nah, you wildin', bro. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
Business. I would have said sign with Fight, the app Fight, but then Triller bought it.
No, yeah, but they bought it. They look like I don't, and really it's because I don't care enough to investigate it. I don't know what their revenue stream actually is. They must got money when you got Doja Cat moving her thighs all up on the stage and shit. They must got money. I mean, they got Jim Lampley calling a fight, so they must got money.
Yo, to be honest, I used to buy all the pay-per-views through Fight before through the app Fight. That's why I buy the pay-per-views.
I dig it, man. But
What
look,
was
to
the
me,
subscription rate for Fight? I think it was like $10, right?
not because Fight got that wrestling shit though, and they get a good chunk of people use
Yeah,
Fight for the wrestling shit. Most people
Ring of
don't realize
Honors.
that. Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. Ring of Honor, yeah.
they use it for that shit. So all the other shit is like extra shit that they added over time. But beyond
That
that
and the
shit,
Mexican fights.
yeah,
They
yeah,
get
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
pay-per-view for $8 and stuff like that.
Like if you want to see shit that the normal networks don't have, you go to Fight. Now, beyond that, because we've been on that for mad long. Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk tomorrow. I want to know, and please nobody ride the fucking fence because it defeats the fucking purpose of even having a conversation if you gonna ride the fence. I'm gonna start from the bottom to the top. Punch, how do you have a fight? What's gonna happen in the fight?
Oh man, I got mixed emotions about it, but I keep on looking at the Anthony Joshua and Povetkin fight, and I think that if he shows that type of agility, movement, work the jab, double the jab, solo plex, and then with the combination of punches and his movement, I think that Anthony Joshua is really gonna stop him late. But also, if he does stay in the line, Alexander Usyk is kind of tricky. He's the master of the point system as well. So if it goes to a decision, he could get the nod. He throws more punches, but I just think that I think that Anthony Joshua, he trimmed down, and I think that he's just gonna be too big for him. He's just gonna be too big for him.
All right, all right. So Punch sounds like you got Anthony Joshua virtuoso. How do you have that fight? And just tell me, what do you think the aesthetic of the fight is gonna be? What's the fight gonna look like?
Well, I think I first picked Joshua on decision. Probably split because I think that one Ukrainian judge is going to be loyal to the soil. Again, it's gonna be a cagey approach to this thing.
Yeah.
Is they're not gonna go at each other. I kept hearing that that Usyk has to bull rush him or anything like that, has to step on the gas. Nah, he's not that kind of fighter. But I think he's looking for Joshua to slow down, and that's when he starts putting the pressure. I'm guessing that's kind of be like more in the middle rounds and stuff. But it's all depending on how Joshua's shape is in. How his conditioning is if he gets taken to the later rounds. But I think McCracken, knows what he's doing. I think they're gonna make adjustments to whatever they're gonna throw at him. Again, size is an important factor here in the heavyweight division. If it comes to the inside, I do think Joshua does use his physicality, to muscle Usyk out. Kind of like what Teofimo tried to do to Lomachenko, not let him come inside and try to do work. So I think he's going to utilize his movement, being that he's slimmed down, and I think he's gonna try to outpoint him. So
All right.
I'm picking Joshua.
So that's 2 for Joshua. Leighton, how do you have the fight? What are we gonna see tomorrow?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm going to the fight myself tomorrow, yeah? So I've
All
already
right.
got my shit all sorted. But last
Congrats.
week I had a different opinion to what I got today. Last week I was thinking it was going to be decisions, going to be close. And I listened to my favourite channels, who's Unrivaled, Yourself, Jew, and Beats. I listened to them, and they do influence me. But the more and more I watch the way and I watch everything, I think Josh was going to blow through him a lot easier than people think. Before I was giving Usyk so much credit, and I thought Usyk could do it, but I think it's going to be over before 8 rounds. Joshua knockout.
So you got it's getting spicy.
Yeah,
Mark,
yeah.
I gotta go to Mark because Mark. Wait, look, I passed by Leo. First, let me read the super chat, then let me go to Leo. I hope Usyk don't pull a Loma in the first 6 rounds. Tyrese, I'm gonna say, I think not the first 6, but the first 2 to 3. Leo, how do you have that fight? How is that fight gonna look? Because that's the main thing. What should we expect? Barn burner, chess match. What we gonna get?
I think it's gonna be a chess match, but I think Tony Bellew really exposed Yusick
Yes,
in that fight.
yes,
Is very vulnerable to the straight right hand, very.
yes.
And for me, the reason Tony Bellew didn't won that fight is because one, he doesn't have the punching power. He didn't have the stamina to keep
The
keep
stamina.
up
I
with
agree with that.
Usyk. Now, Anthony Joshua, he went 12 rounds with Andy Ruiz. He moved a lot, but I don't think really the movement around the ring is one is was going to get tired. Joshua is not gonna get tired because the movement. He's gonna get tired because he's gonna throw punches, and if he miss a lot of those punches, I can see AJ slowing down
Mm.
in the later rounds.
Mm.
But if he keeps it economic, if he keeps it elusive,
Mm.
he should want in the later rounds. Now, if he can stand, if Usyk can stand AJ's power, I think maybe 4 or 5 rounds.
Mm. Mm. Okay. Okay. Mark, how do you have that fight? Who wins that fight? What does that fight look like?
I think the fight's great.
Mm.
It's a fight that has me at the edge of my seat. I made a choice not based on pure logic, but more so I made the choice just because I had to make a damn decision and I couldn't bring myself to do one. So I decided to play hero and go for like the bravest call. So I look brilliant, and if I'm wrong, I can just be like, well, fuck it, I'm wrong.
Mm.
Talk to you next week. But I went with Usyk. I'm going with Usyk. I'm going with Usyk via stoppage in round 10. I think the fight's going to be cagey early on in the first 4 rounds. I think Joshua's going to be about 3-1 up, but I think Joshua's going to be moving a lot more than he did in the Ruiz fight in the first one. And the reason for that is I think Usyk's going to apply actual pressure. Andy Ruiz was moving around, following around. I think Usyk's going to be looking to lead him into positions. And whilst people think, yeah, he moved around and he boxed beautifully, Andy was never within range, and Usyk's got quicker feet. He does know how to actually dictate his opponents around the ring. He knows when to lead them into positions and when not to. And I think the mental pressure will add up. He's got to be careful going into mid range at any time to get past, because AJ can land and hurt them and split them open or cut them. He can get an accumulation stoppage very quick out of nowhere. We seen against Klitschko when he was losing, he just exploded out of nowhere and he just dropped them just completely out of thin blue air. So he's capable of turning the fight on its head. I just feel as though Alex is going to be a little bit too much. I think Usyk will get dropped in the fight, and he'll manage to survive into the next round. I think AJ that'll probably be in around 7 after Usyk's had success. And I think AJ will try and go for the kill and get a little bit tired then. And Usyk will start to mount an excess body attack, take him out, constantly start teeing off on him, and the ref will wave it off in the 10th.
That'll be dramatic. I mean, the main thing for
So,
me,
aesthetically, I'm just going to say aesthetically, cagey in the beginning, gets very intriguing with a little bit of ebb and flow. You start wondering what's going to happen. And if I'm wrong, it's still going to be very dramatic, the ending, because it's either, the way I see it, is AJ's either going to clip him and knock him the fuck out, or Usyk's going to dictate it and break him down. I'm just playing hero at the moment.
I'll say this. I mean, the fight, everybody is expecting drama. I see a lot of people expecting drama. I'm going conservative. I feel like both of these guys, because of what they come from, these are not the guys that you can catch slipping. They won't give the other man very many opportunities. They're both Olympic gold medalists. They both competed at the highest levels as professionals. And Usyk don't make a lot of mistakes. Joshua learned from his mistake, getting greedy with your power, getting greedy with your hooks, giving up your height to the shorter man. He learned from all of that. So I don't see him going in there and bull rushing Usyk, because like your dog, Usyk is more agile and more accurate than Ruiz. The only thing he don't have that Ruiz had is power. He don't really hit that hard. He has to land a lot to get you out of there. And the shit I see is jab to the head, jab to the solar plexus, jab to the midsection, repeat. And as long as you keep doing that, Usyk don't get to step in to touch you with nothing, because he's got shorter arms. He has to be close to you to hit you. If you jab him up top and jab him downstairs and jab at his chest, he's going to stay out there. And it'll just repeat itself that way, round after round. maybe things get interesting in the middle when Usyk sees that it's slipping away and this guy's got a lead. But I don't know if I could see this guy getting knocked out.
Now, I don't want to sound like a toxic American, but how do y'all feel about the mental aspect? Like AJ's too nice, man. The last time I saw him nice, man, he got beat up by Andy Ruiz, man. That's the last time I seen him too nice with his opponent. I don't know.
I
Maybe
mean, it's a factor, Punch. It's a factor.
You know,
Dude,
hold on,
we're not
hold on. Let me
nice.
say, let me
British
hold
way.
on,
It's a
Leighton.
British
Hold on,
way.
hold
It's all
on,
we are.
hold on,
It's all
hold
we
on,
are.
Leighton. Though. Hold on, though. Hold on. The last time he was very nice, he won the rematch with Ruiz.
Yeah.
He was very cordial with him then too.
He was cordial with Vladimir.
He was cordial with Pulev, but Pulev got aggressive. But AJ was very cordial with him. Pulev got all hot-headed. He was very cordial.
I mean,
AJ's normally quite cordial.
Yeah, like he had a full-on bromance with Vladimir, but we see the aesthetic of that fight. Like them dudes was mad cool. They probably had beers after the goddamn fight, and they probably had beers before the fight.
Hey,
So
but he almost.
I don't think all this talk about pressure affects him. I'm like,
Punch,
I saw
have
him
you
in
ever
the.
been to the UK? With that Punch, have you ever been to the UK, bro?
To the UK?
Punch, brother, have you ever been to the UK?
No, just I've been to Amsterdam, Sweden, Norway, Denmark.
This is what I'm saying.
Very
brother.
friendly
I've
places
been
there
to the
too,
US,
though,
right?
aren't there?
And like
Punch, what I'm gonna say is
the manners are different. The manners are different. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
like
different.
Punch. Watch
We
the
say yes,
Povetkin
thank
fight.
you.
Watch the Povetkin fight. He was mad cordial with him too. Like him and Povetkin never really got. And Povetkin is cordial by nature. Like that dude don't ever really get in no heated beefs and pushing and shoving matches. And him and Joshua, they weigh in was cordial. You'd have thought they was gonna go play basketball or some shit. Not that they gonna go fight. You'd have thought they was gonna do some other shit. So I'm
All
like,
right, maybe I'm living the moment. Maybe I'm living the plant and Canelo.
no, because I dig it. I seen when they was
Yeah.
taking the selfie. I'm like, yo, he mad cool with him. But then I'm like, yo, you know what? He don't really pop. The only guy that he popped off on that it was getting nasty was Jarrell. Other than that, it don't really get nasty because they know, like, bro, I'm here to do a job. We don't need a gimmick to sell the fight. It's gonna be
exactly.
60,000.
Can I say one
people
other
there.
thing, Julius? It's not just AJ who's nice here. It's also Usyk. Usyk's being a gentleman as well. Like, I mean, have you ever heard of a dramatic moment to do with Usyk at a press conference?
No, he don't be the one that do it. Like I think Marco Huck didn't Huck push him? Was that Huck that pushed him
I
at the
think
weigh-in?
so.
And he beat the shit out of Huck. Like Usyk is not
But he smiled at Hook and he took a little bow. Like he was still very. Usyk's just like
even though this is sadistic, like smile to him. He like they're two professionals here, man. I heard AJ in the press conference this week. He said like he just looks at it as a job, like to him it's like it's a Tuesday, but for Usyk it might be the World Cup. You know, this is it. This is the biggest fight, and
like
I think he's handling it well.
Americans like all the and look, I'm not trying to knock my countrymen, but I know our frame of mind. And,
That's why I said
America,
toxic American.
yeah, like Americans want it to be like a yo. It's not real beef, and not for nothing. Look, real beef, like just real shit. All that psyching yourself up into doing shit, that's for the birds, bro. That's for the kids.
That's what I'm saying, Drew. I
Yo,
couldn't get
man,
it
look,
across,
all
but
I'll
that's
say-
what I'm trying to say, bro. It's different.
Look, all I'll say is please don't try and put like the Americanized spin on UK boxing or whatever, because let's just look at it like this, yeah? UK boxing tomorrow is giving us one of the biggest fights this year. American fighters are being pushed back on different platforms month after month after month and being left to the dogs, while 72-year-old men are getting priority.
Yeah, man. Look. Jake Paul, the numbers are in, the official number. Well, I'm not even going to call them official, but I've seen them 2 times now over the course of 2 weeks. Jake Paul did 500,000 pay-per-view buys out here.
Not bad. Not bad. That's good.
Now think about it. Davis
I didn't even know that. That's what he did.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that's
that.
what he did, bro. Half a mil. So think about that.
How much? $60 a pop?
$60 a pop. Now think
30
about
million
that, bro.
gross. That ain't bad, man.
That's
Good
more
job.
than Davis. That's more than Davis. That's more than Spence. That's more than most American fighters. We, as the American consumers, are in no position to tell other people that are making money how to make money. When they're making money off of real boxing and YouTubers is making money off of boxing over here. It's a wrap. All that
Is Wilder versus Fury the only fight involving an American that did more than 500,000 in the last few years?
I think so. And it was a flop.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a
Yeah,
flop.
they lost money. They lost money.
Canelo sells him. He's a Mexican.
America is obsessed with gimmicks and needless storytelling. We don't need a story for Usyk and Joshua. We know he's a good fighter. We know he's a threat to him. He's a threat to him. That's good enough. I don't need a story. I don't need shove it.
But I
Yeah.
think that's what boxing here is missing, is like the story, the way it was written back then. Like, we knew the journey of fighters and we knew everything about them, how they bred. Now it's just like we don't know nothing about these guys.
It's not that. It's not the story. It's that you got too many fighters. And look, this is just the way. This is just the way the shit is. It's too many fighters trying to be businessmen now. That's what's missing. Fighters is not behaving like fighters. That's what's missing.
Like, who's all Burt Sugar now?
We don't fucking have one. All the Burt Sugars think they super. I mean, Burt Sugars. You mean Burt Cooper? Ain't no Burt Coopers out here because everybody think they a superstar. Broner turned down 2 offers to fight Conor Ben. Bro, you a journeyman. Fucking act like it. You a fucking journeyman. You wildin'. You can't fight Conor Ben? That's crazy to me. But that's where it's at. Thurman, you don't want to fight shit. You don't want to fight shit. Period. It's people over here to fight. You could fight Jaron Ennis. You could fucking fight Broner if you want to. You ain't fighting shit. Not fighting shit.
Yeah, let's get Thurman versus Broner on the go. Let's get that. Why not? The winner stays on. Let's do a PBC winner stays on tournament of the people who haven't fought in 2 years.
The problem with the American boxing scene is it forgot how to value its journeymen. When they started worrying about, and I'm not a Mayweather hater, so don't take this way. America got too stuck on the undefeated record and stopped appreciating the Ray Mercers, the Burt Coopers of the world. That's what happened. Before, remember, one of the classic fights in boxing was against two guys that wasn't A-level. Gaddy wasn't A-level. Ward wasn't A-level. Ward was a journeyman. But together, they made a fucking classic because that's boxing. But when Floyd came around, and it's not Floyd's fault, it's just people reacted that way. They started focusing on the O. Like, stop worrying about the O, bro. Stop worrying about that shit. Y'all too worried about the O.
I also have another theory.
Country of 360 million. You're not even selling 1%. Not even selling 1%. 360 million. Your country.
They're not making big fights.
1%.
They're not.
To be fair, though, 1%.
It's the big America.
I have a theory.
You know, 1% though. I need to say this, Leighton. Though 1% in America is the 3rd biggest pay-per-view in history. 3.6 million.
I did look.
It's a lot.
I agree. But they ain't even doing it, Mark. They ain't even doing it.
This is what I'm like. Look, we know the American boxing scene is dwindling. We know, regardless of whatever. Let me read this super chat. Josh Taylor, Saunders, Eubank, and Fury are all UK, and they are always popping off. Though that's not true. That's not like Chris is so rehearsed and so staged. It's like he's not really popping.
To be fair,
not really.
Chris Eubank goes missing for like 17 months at a time.
What's your reaction to Alan? I like the fight. If you want my honest opinion, I saw a lot of people moaning about the fight. Alen Babic is not a blue chip prospect. Lucas Brown makes sense. Dave Allen fought Lucas Brown. Dillian White fought Lucas Brown. Alen Babic, I'm okay with it. I know he just got knocked out by Paul Galen, the rugby player. Still, Alen Babic is not a blue chip prospect. These is the kind of fights that guys have at this stage in their career. I don't have a problem with it. I
reckon Mark Unrivaled would be the Babic. And I'll just put that out there now. I think Unrivaled would be the Babic.
I think Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis got more skills than Conor Ben, but I think Conor Ben will be the bigger star.
Yeah, because look, Americans, I don't know what's happening to this country, which is why I'm seriously considering moving to Europe. I really feel like people.
Hey, come here.
Hey, it's real.
We
shit.
can get drinks. We can get drinks.
It's real shit. And I'm like, yo, look, man.
Jude, Cardiff, mate. Cardiff.
The populace in America is
Don't do it.
literally
Take a leave of absence. Don't do
nah.
that.
I'm dead at a lot of the shit that goes on in this country, and people don't pay attention to it. It's like I see that the populace is literally getting dumber, literally getting
That's good.
dumber. It's insane, dog. Year after year, dumber and dumber shit is happening. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be around this shit. It's all going. It's all
I'm
going
not
to hell
gonna
in a
lie,
hand.
he's right.
It's the truth, bro. Look.
Not gonna
What's-
lie,
Remember-
he's right.
Yeah, but I'm
The
not going to
average
lie
American
either.
is-
I'm not going to
Smith,
lie
I
either,
can't
Leighton.
argue with stupid.
Leighton, I'm not going to lie either. I don't think that's just American.
I mean,
I live
Mac,
here in
go on.
Ireland. I've lived in England. The generations,
Mac,
they're getting dumber and dumber.
Mac,
Leighton, my
Irish have always
generation's
had the name
dumber
of
than
being
yours,
stupid.
Leighton.
You've
You can't
always
even
had-
say
no,
it's
but
not.
Mac, as a country, you know, should
Yeah,
always
we're not
be
even
classed as
we're not even
stupid,
debating
though you're
who's
not.
smarter.
You know what I
We
mean?
debating who's dumber.
bro. It's
That's
like,
right.
Look,
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
gonna give it.
But the American
Punch,
people I'm
punch,
talking with,
punch,
you
put it
can't
like
even
this,
argue
bro.
with them, bro. They don't, it's no reality, bro.
Punch, put it like this, bro. Here in America, we have Americans, right, arguing about why things need to be on pay-per-view, even though me and you don't benefit from that. Like the network benefit from that. Me and you don't benefit from that. But if I go on Twitter, I bet you'll be somebody arguing, yeah, man, Canelo need to come to pay-per-view. Why? It costs
Julius,
me and
I
you
had a
more
42-minute
money.
conversation with somebody telling me why Campbell Hatton is worth to be on a pay-per-view card.
That's wild to me that they put Campbell ahead of Callum. That's wild to me. That's
Who's that with
fucking
his dad,
wild.
Mac?
That's fucking what. Campbell
feel like-
Hatton's
I feel
fight.
like-
Campbell Hatton's fight is closer to the main event than Callum Smith versus.
Yeah, but
Izzy
Jay,
Bone.
this isn't the first time it happened.
No.
Hold on. This isn't the first time this took one sec, Virtuoso. He was above B-Ball and Craig Richards, a British champion versus a world champion in a world title fight. Back in 2010 in the UK, I ain't having it, mate. That's the co-main or main event on most cards. When you have the British champion taking on the world champion, it's a mega deal. Now you have Campbell Hatton above it. It's ridiculous.
It's getting fucking wild out here, man. It's getting fucking wild. And
But it's Joshua's management thing, and that's why he's on it. He signed up with Joshua's management, and so Joshua's looking after him to the favour of his dad and keeping him there. Joshua's the one that's doing it. He's on Joshua's cards. He's on Matchroom, push forward. It is to do with Joshua because Joshua's got him. And
I
look who his dad is.
understand
His
that,
dad's
Leighton.
Ricky Hatton's linked with Joshua.
Leighton, you can't be turning around and saying, right, that Americans are dumber than anywhere else, and then you're giving reasons as to why Campbell Hatton's above Callum Smith.
No. Listen, no. Yeah, I agree, Mark. I agree.
all I'm gonna say is Callum Smith is actually in a good fight. Lennon Castile, like I really want to see if he could knock this motherfucker out, because Lennon, he a big motherfucker for like heavyweight, man, and he never been knocked out. Nobody knocked him out. B-Ball didn't knock him out.
He's tough as nails. He's tough as nails, and he's not the worst boxer. If he
But
gets
do you
inside
think
with
he
you,
could beat
he'll
him?
beat you up in the pocket. In the pocket, he's better in the pocket than
I
Callum.
think he could beat him, but because Callum is with a new trainer, remember this is his first fight with
Buddy
Buddy
McGirt.
It's his first fight with him, so he gonna
But do
be.
you
in that
think he
spirit.
can beat Callum? Do you boys think he can beat Callum?
Oh, I'm gonna say this. There's a chance he could get through with some stupid shit. There is a chance he could get through with some stupid shit. There is. Big, strong kid, man. These ain't super. He not a super middleweight, man. He could get through with some dumb shit and have Callum feeling funny. Yes, there's a chance. Do I like his chance? Am I betting on it? No. At minimum, conservatively, I go Callum on points. But I just want to watch the fight. That's why I didn't do a prediction. I just want to see how does Callum look.
I hear that.
I just want to watch the fight. I don't know how he gonna look. I can't tell you if he gonna be better than he was with Joe or worse. I can't tell you that. I just gotta watch the fight. And other than that, so we got probably about 6 people picking Joshua, and Mark is picking Usyk. Are there any Usyk people in the building that want to voice their prediction for the fight? Because I see a lot of Usyk people on Twitter, but I don't see a lot of Usyk people in here.
By the way,
what I will say is, like, I respect you all the time, but Mark has confused me on this one. Sorry, brother.
Hold on. I did preface everything by saying I'm playing hero. Did I not?
No, I know, but there's people that is picking Usyk because they really like. I seen people picking Usyk by knockout. I seen a lot of that shit. I'm like, I can't reconcile how that's the prediction, like that ass the prediction. Because I'm like, look, Mavis Breedis, I love him to death, but he's a smaller man than Anthony Joshua. And Usyk went hell for level with that man. He went hell for level with that man. All right. It's like Usyk didn't knock out Gassiev. I know Gassiev has an iron chin, but we don't know if he has an iron chin at heavyweight. You fighting a heavyweight now, a full-fledged heavyweight. And when you fighting a heavyweight that might keep you on the outside, right? He might keep you on the outside. Usyk don't got one hit of quitter power. It's not that he touch you when you fall down. He got to beat up on you for you to fall down. If this dude keep you on the outside all night, how you gonna beat up on him? How does it happen? That's my question. How does it happen?
Loma against Tio, but in heavyweight. Keep him on the outside. Don't let him come in.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
No, but what I'm saying is like, listen, Julius Mack, I know, listen, if you boys know these boys, Mack, bro, I rely on him so much. But his prediction on this one is like, Mack, how did you come up with it? I know you was back and forth, Mack. I listened to your video the other day.
Yeah,
right?
because
I'm thinking,
the thing
how
is,
do you
like,
think that he stops Joshua?
Yeah, I don't think Joshua's stamina was properly tested against Andy Ruiz in the second fight. And I think too many people are playing into it. I think a lot of people, when they're looking at Usyk's gas tank versus Chisora, they're not realizing that Chisora takes pretty much 700 to 800 more steps per 12 rounds than Anthony Joshua normally does. Usyk also takes 600 more or so, roughly. And I think that's part and parcel. So if Usyk is able to, if Joshua's looking to play on the back foot, Usyk making that amount of steps as he normally will, if he's on his average amount, it's going to triple Anthony Joshua's foot movement. And that's why I'm thinking he could gas. Right. That it kind of comes down to that. But if you were to turn to me and say, "Hey, Mark, what's the most sensible prediction here?" I'm telling you right now, my prediction isn't that sensible. What's the most sensible prediction? Anthony Joshua, unanimous decision.
It's the Bellew shit, bro. I advise anybody.
Brother, you knows I respect you, Mark. Mark, you knows I respect you, and that's why, like, if you're a genius and you've got this right, I'll take my hat off, mate, and I will, because I do respect you, brother. But
I'm probably going to be wrong. I'm telling you the most sensible prediction, Leighton. I'm telling you the most sensible prediction is Anthony Joshua on points.
Bellew, I would advise anybody who hasn't seen the Bellew fight, or if you've only seen it once, to see what Mark is talking about, because that's exactly what happened there. Literally, Usyk wasn't throwing a lot. Usyk wasn't doing a lot, and the motherfucker got
today.
I
watched all the fights today. I've watched the Bellew fight. I've watched the Chisora fight. I've watched the Charles Witherspoon fight. I've watched all the fights today, and like that's why I've come up with what I'm saying. Like Usyk is like, I can't see it, but Mark, I'm not going to say I know more than Mark, because I don't, and I'm not going to lie, I don't, and I respect Mark, but like, you might know something I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, Leighton. That's the only way I could see, like Mark just did the Doctor Strange shit, where he goes through like 9 million scenarios, and that's the only one that works. That's the only way I can see it happening.
Yeah.
If you
I'm not thinking of Mark.
Julius isn't wrong. I'm just,
bro, I was telling him that days ago.
Leighton, it's as simple as this, right? I went through all of my film study over the last 2 months, right? I came up with about 250 different conclusions and got confused. I decided to go through my chat, ask everybody who they're picking. It came out with 72% of my viewers are picking Anthony Joshua. So I went with the underdog for the crack because I didn't have a fucking Scooby.
I'm gonna say this, right?
Bro, I watched your video.
Hold on, Leighton. Let me say this. What Mark is saying could happen. My thing is that by the time it does happen, Joshua will amass a comfortable lead, and there could be a knockdown. Usyk could get knocked down, because if Usyk gets froggy and he tries to come in the pocket, Joshua's gonna engage him. Joshua might overpower him. You know what I mean? Usyk has to pile on the damage on a guy to get him out of there. I don't anticipate that in the beginning of this fight, a whole lot of punches is going to get landed outside of jabs from Anthony Joshua. That's it. He's probably going to keep the dude on the outside for the first 4 fucking rounds. Usyk probably don't get into it till 5 and 6.
Before this, if I changed my mind from last week I was distance all the way. I was saying distance all the way. Today, after watching that, I'm confident for my man Joshua early knockout. But last week, I was completely different. So it's everyone. As you get closer, you can change, you can twist, you can turn, you can look one way, you can look another way. There's so many different scenarios. There's no right, there's no wrong, is there? Do you know what I mean?
I gotta give it
Yeah.
to Russ Pettit because Russ said it best. I've heard a lot of people make the correlation between when Holyfield moved up and Usyk, and what Russ is saying is spot on. Usyk is not Holyfield moving up, and I agree with that. I agree with that. Holyfield was a dog through and through, and that's how he fought. Usyk is not a dog; he's a technician. He's a craftsman, and
Jew,
it's
I was old enough to grow up and watch them live. I watched Holyfield live. He ain't Usyk. He's 10 times
like
Usyk. And like when I'm hearing him get it compared on Sky Sports, all I'm hearing all week, Holyfield, Usyk, Holyfield, Usyk. No, mates, they're completely different animals.
they're completely different
animals.
guys.
But like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Accolades are the
Usyk-
same, but like the styles are different.
Yeah, because Holy was a dog. 2, Holy was a characteristic counterpuncher. Usyk has countering ability. It's not that he can't counter. Yeah, he could counter, but he'll pity pat you to death. When he's fighting his fight, when he's having it all his way, he'll pity pat you to death. That's what he do. Pity pat you to death till you get tired and he get through with something hard. That's what he do. He pity pat you to death. I'm not saying
should AJ set the tone or should he start conservative?
Nah, he's gonna start conservative because it don't make sense. Look. If I told you, Punch, you could win this fight one-handed. Why wouldn't you? If I could win this fight with my jab, just with my jab, just jab up top, jab to the body, jab to the solar plexus, repeat, jab feint, jab to the body, jab feint, jab to the head, jab to the body. If you could do that and win, why the fuck wouldn't you? Why am I gonna risk my fucking health doing all this crazy shit? No, I'll jab him to death. I'm gonna do to him. And this is why I think the Ruiz fight was important. Some fighters are afraid to win boring. I think that Anthony Joshua learned in that fight. Nah, if you got to win boring, win boring.
Timely adjustment. He made the timely adjustment.
But during that first Ruiz fight, you got to think he was a replacement of a replacement. Joshua just thought he was going to walk through him. And Joshua was used to walking through people. And Joshua changed his game after then. He's a different fighter. He's a clever fighter. He's Olympic gold champion. Different fighter, mate.
The 2 fights that I watched while thinking about this one, the 2 fights that I went back and rewatched, I watched the Povetkin fight because I feel that was a very important fight. That's the fight that showed me this 6'6" man could jab to the body. Most guys that size, they don't even look at the body unless they're in the pocket. This dude threw a stab to the body from the outside to try to control this man. Like, chill, B. I'm not just going to touch you up top. I'm going to touch you in your stomach. Like, chill out, son. Mm-hmm. That showed me something. They're like, all right. And that was before he got beat by Ruiz. After he gets beat by Ruiz, he learns a valuable lesson. Do not be afraid to win boring. If that's what you got to do, then that's what the fuck you got to do. It's a mature fighter that could go in there and win boring. Lennox Lewis for years was criticized by Americans for being the biggest guy in the division damn near, for being a jabber. But you know what? Look at how they look at him now. He's one of the greatest that ever fucking did it. It takes a mature fighter to win boring. I think AJ is that mature fighter. That's why I have him on points. I'm thinking like, yo, look, we excited about the fight, and it's a great fight. Don't get me wrong, but I do not think it's going to be a barn burner. I don't think they're going to go hell for leather. I don't.
Okay, if you're talking about
the crowd's going to demand it, you. The crowd is going to demand it.
AJ fight in front of crowds like that all the time, bro. He's fighting in front of crowds like that all the time.
No, Jude, we've been in lockup. We haven't had a big crowd in the UK. We haven't had a big crowd since the lockup. This is the first big crowd, boxing crowd. We're going to be there. This crowd's going to be rowdy. I mean, rowdy. And we're going to demand it. And I think AJ is going to feel for the crowd. Maybe it might be his mistake for him, but I think he's going to apply to the crowd.
Hold on. Let me address Pancho Villa, then I'm going to pass it to Leo. Leo, I was around for Lennox's whole fucking career, bro. Here in America, I'm not saying he was boring. I'm saying they were calling him boring because he was more of a boxer than Holyfield. He was more of a boxer than Tyson, and he was more of a boxer than Bo. They looked at him as the boring one. In hindsight, when we look back, like at fights like Lewis versus Mercer, no, he wasn't boring. But compared to what was out there at that time, motherfuckers really called Lennox Lewis boring. And look at how that aged, though. Now he's revered as one of the greatest that ever did it. He beat every man that beat him. He beat everybody, basically. that he had to beat. So trust me when I say it takes a mature fighter to be able to win boring. They're like, nah, if I can beat him with my jab, I'm gonna beat him with my jab. I don't got to do all that flash shit. If this dude can't get around this one hand, I don't need to bring over the other one because that's risky. And the other thing is too, I think Leo pointed it out. It was either Leo or Mark. It was one of y'all that, like, in case y'all forgot, what's the Southpaw killer?
The straight right.
There you go.
Straight right.
Uppercut, mate.
That's
Uppercut,
if Usyk makes it to the pocket. I don't know that he can.
He's got to come in. He's got to come in, Drew. He's got to come in.
He has to try to come in, and it's gonna be hard. Like, you know what I see him doing? I keep remembering the Joyce fight that he would throw lead left hands, and I'm like, yo, dog, you throw a lead left. If he's slipping hook, it's a wrap for your ass. It's a wrap. If he's slipping hook and you walk it, it's over, bro. Because I don't really think Usyk could take a clean one. I don't.
Okay,
but Drew, at the same time, Team Joshua knows he's looking out for the uppercut. He's looking out for that uppercut. So then sell him a fucking right hook. Sell him the hook. Sell him the hook. Because he knows the uppercut. Everyone knows the uppercut's Joshua's punch. And like Team Usyk is going to be thinking the uppercut. What's the uppercut? And Team Joshua must be thinking, sell him the uppercut. He's gonna be more mindful. He's gonna be more mindful of the straight right hand because Joshua's gonna box from the outside. After the jab, what you bring over? The right hand. That's what he's gonna be mindful of. If Usyk makes it to the pocket, hold on. If Usyk makes it to the pocket, like, you don't gotta sell an uppercut. In other words, you know why I don't have to set you up for that? Because the whole time this fight is going on, right? You trying to get to the pocket. If by some chance you actually make it into the pocket, well, that's no problem. I'll let go of my uppercut. What Usyk is going to be mindful of is the straight right hand. That's what he's going to look out for. Because he know, like I know, like you know, like everybody know, the Southpaw killer is the straight right hand. That's how Canelo dropped Trout, with the straight right hand. All right, Drew.
Okay,
let me ask you a question. Who's got the faster hands? Who got the faster hands, Drew?
You know what the thing is? Usyk don't have the faster hands on the outside. He has them on the inside.
Thank you.
You don't have them on the outside.
He hasn't got the faster hands. He hasn't got the faster hands. Trust me, Joshua's 100-meter sprinter, 10 second, 11 second, Olympic speed. He's an athlete. Joshua got speed. He don't get his respect for his speed. Everyone always says he hasn't got speed because he's dealt with Andy Ruiz. He was hooking with a hooker. You can't hook with a little hooker. You can't, bro. You know what I mean? But Joshua,
I want to say this.
Go ahead, Leo. Go ahead, Leo.
I want to say this. If we're talking about the AJ versus Ruiz 2 performance, I think that performance has a lot to do with the politics. Because let's say AJ tried to win that fight by knockout, and he gets beat again. There is no way he's getting a third fight. Never. He's never gonna see those titles again. There's no amount of money Eddie Hearn can offer to Andy Ruiz to accept a third fight because Andy Ruiz is a PBC fighter. So those titles get locked away in PBC Island. So he needed to win that fight no matter what.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I also think about the fight. I do think that politics were an aspect of it. Don't get me wrong, but I also think about the fight that Ruiz was effectively neutralized because you were inside fighter. You were mid-range to inside. Ruiz ain't never been no outside fighter. He's an inside fighter, and as long as you keep him out, he can't do nothing. He can't do nothing out there. All right. Now everybody doesn't have the length. The thing is, like Parker, he don't have the length to fight that fight. Well, I'm gonna just keep him out all night. You ain't got the length to do that. Joshua had the length to do that, and he did that, and he did outland Ruiz. Like, for example, and I saw this brought up, which is very true. Joshua landed more on Ruiz in the rematch than Fury landed on Klitschko in they fight. All right, so it's not like he was just cruising and not doing shit. No, he was winning a fight. He was outlanding him. He was outboxing him. It ain't like it was close. It wasn't close. It wasn't hard to score. It was simple. Keep him on the outside. I think the same applies to Usyk. Usyk has the faster hands in the pocket. Outside of the pocket, nah, you ain't got the faster hands because you got to step in before you can even touch him. You have to.
You know what? That's why I love this man's channel, because this man knows his stuff. Love it, Jew. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it. The only way I could see Usyk, and I wouldn't discount this, if he can time him with the straight left hand and stun him. But it's like Usyk, no, I'm not a power puncher. I don't got one hit of quitter power to be stunning motherfuckers with lead left hands. Like, look, go back and watch the Joe Joyce fight. Like, he was throwing lead lefts all over the place. I'm like, yo, this is wild. Can he do that to to Joshua? Go ahead.
Right. Can I pose a question? Like if Usyk was to try, I mean, I don't foresee Usyk stopping Joshua, but if he was to try it, what exactly would he have to do? Because I think it would come in the fight late. What do you think he would have to do to try to get a stoppage?
Feint with the jab, and keep connecting with straight left hands.
Got you.
Feint with the right. Just keep feinting the right. Keep getting him to look at your jab hand, and then pop him with the left. But how many times would Usyk, who don't hit that hard, how many times would he have to do that before you really make a dent in Anthony Joshua? And the other thing is, remember this: if you keep doing that, he's going to time you. Remember what happened to Leo? This goofy motherfucker threw the same punch 3 times.
Yeah.
And
oh my God, yeah. Man,
dude,
Leo was begging to be countered when he threw the 3 shots, like literally begging to be countered.
Exactly. So it's like, you gotta switch. That's why I mean that I tried to mull over every way I could think of, because I don't think, like, if I'm being honest, let's be real. Can Usyk win on the cards? Bro, he would have to fucking tap dance on Anthony Joshua's face.
He would have to put on a clinic for at least 10 rounds, 10 to 11 rounds.
He has to finish a shutout. He has to finish a shutout with 12 straight rounds.
That's what I'm saying.
At least 10 or 11. At least 10 or 11.
I've mulled over every scenario, and I'm like, look, and that's just me being cynical, because I don't think Joshua has to rob him. That's just me being cynical in case I have to be. And I'm like, look, man, regardless of whatever, you have to get within striking distance of Joshua because you're shorter and you have shorter arms. And we've already seen that he's perfectly capable of boxing from the outside, jabbing and feinting, and just switching up where he throw the jab. He could throw it at your head. He could throw it at your solar plexus. He could throw it at your stomach. And that's all he got to do. With that, you don't get to land most of your punches.
Okay, Julius. Sometime during the fight, Alexander Yusick is going to get punched with a full swing from Anthony Joshua. What is going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. You are a former cruiserweight. Your brain is going to be okay. You are not going to go. You are not going to do the chicken dance or whatever.
Listen, I don't even think Usyk stays at heavyweight if he gets knocked out, to be completely honest with you. I'd go to Bridgerweight if it was me. Like, I can't be a Bridgerweight champion. Ukraine ain't never had a Bridgerweight champion. Let me go beat Oscar Ribas.
What if he lost on points? You think he still sticks around?
No, because he would have had the biggest fight in the heavyweight. Think about it. You just had the biggest fight, the biggest money fight the heavyweight division has to offer. You finished the fight on your feet. I don't belong up here. I'm going to go down. Maybe I don't go back down to cruiser, but I could go back down to Bridger. And I could go to Bridger and be a 2-division champion. I could still do that. Who's at Bridgerweight that he can't beat? Who?
What about Tyson Fury?
I mean, look, this is the thing. If they don't want each other, Leo, they don't want each other. They don't want each other. Usyk know in his heart, he don't want that boring-ass fight. He do not want that boring-ass fight. Because the onus is going to be on him to chase Fury around the whole fucking fight. And he don't want, and Fury don't want that because Fury's a fucking idiot. I don't know. I don't know. But they don't want each other. They do not want each other.
Yeah, because if Otto Wallin, I think is overrated at this point. If Otto Wallin can do that to Fury, Alexander Usyk can do better.
I mean, look, didn't a cruiserweight drop Fury before? Didn't Steve Cunningham drop his ass?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, motherfuckers really act like Fury is motherfuckers really act like Fury is so different. Motherfuckers act like Fury is so different from the fighter that he used to be. And I'm like, yo, the only reason y'all saying that is because of what he did to Wilder. And Wilder is a one-trick pony. And if I'm being honest, I'm not playing games. I don't know that they fight is even fucking real. Everything they're doing is rehearsed. Fury says some shit in the video. Did you see it? Did you see it, Leighton? Fury says some shit in the video, then Wilder makes a video with music in the background.
Y'all heard they putting that?
do
Y'all
is fake.
y'all heard they putting the fight in movie
It's like-
theaters? Y'all heard about that?
Something's not right. It's not right with that fight. It's not right.
I'm
It's
telling
not
you,
right.
I'm
Whatever's
telling-
going
I'm
on, it's not
Leighton,
right.
Leighton,
I
I'm
don't get it.
telling
It's
you-
not right. Postponed. Something's not right. It's not right. All of a sudden, Wilder's this trained up new guy. Come on.
Listen, I'm this close to picking Wilder to win the fight because I'm convinced that fight is not real. I'm convinced it's not real. Like I'm like, look, conventional wisdom in boxing, based on boxing, conventional wisdom based on boxing dictates that Fury should win the third fight. But if you want to clean up with the bookies, you bank on the upset. Wilder has to upset Fury, right? Now, everything I see, everything y'all do is rehearsed from the postponement. Why you think Eddie Hearn said them dudes is not going to fight July 24th? They not going to fight. This was right after the arbitrator ruled. He said them dudes is not going to fight on the 24th. No fucking way. No camera crews get hired for pre-production for the fight. It's not a coincidence. They knew the whole time they was going to move that shit. Just like I think they knew the whole time they was taking Eddie Hearn for a ride. That's what I firmly believe. And I'm looking at these guys and how they moving. Like, bro, the dude lost $100 million fight and he doing cannonballs in the pool. Not me. I'm on my way to Tuscaloosa to shoot Wilder in the chest. Not me. You wilding. You cost me $100 million.
Drew, I boxed at 8
Wait,
years of age. I boxed, and then all of a sudden, this guy can box better than me. Come on, bruv. No, listen, bruv. I boxed since I was 8 years of age, and then all of a sudden, some guy can come in and tell me he can box better than me. It don't work like that, mate. It don't work like that. You don't learn in 1 year.
I'm gonna tell you the flag, Leighton. I'm gonna tell you the flag, and we ain't gonna know till the night of the fight. I'm gonna tell you the flag. If Wilder go in there and win a boxing match, that shit fake, bro. Cause ain't no way. It ain't no way. It ain't no way. It don't happen that way. I've been seeing this shit for too long. It don't happen that way.
That's what I'm saying, brother. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, wait, guys, ring. I mean, by the way, I just want to state something right quick. I don't know if the whole third fight is staged, but I actually received on good authority from a well-known insider. His name is Joseph Heron. I spoke to him on his channel. He's got it's a War Week radio network. He's an insider. He's been in the game for like about 20 plus years. He's a ring announcer, commentator, and he actually worked as a publicist for Kronk Boxing. And he happens to know Javon Sugar Hill very well. And I received on good authority by him. He told me that Tyson Fury and Javon Sugar Hill, they were outraged and very, very furious that they had to do the third fight, and also that Tyson Fury actually did have COVID because he spoke to Javon Sugar Hill, and Fury was getting pieced up in sparring before the original July date, and Javon didn't like what he was seeing, so he shut down sparring, and he had Tyson Fury tested, and he tested positive. I received this from Mr. Heron, and I'm not. This is what Javon Sugar Hill. He claims that Javon Sugar Hill told him. So
let's run with that. Let's just run with that because like I'm all over the place with this, right? I could believe it's fake. I could believe he had. Let's just run with it. If he bought himself time to recover from the COVID, and I could believe he was getting pieced up in sparring because he had a black eye. I seen that.
Yeah,
he had a black
everybody
eye.
saw that. Yeah.
If he got pieced up in sparring and he bought himself time, the question then becomes, okay, Wilder gonna go in there and try to box.
Yeah, that's Wilder.
It's like, what do you pick, bro? What do you pick?
That's a joke. That's a joke.
He's always been limited. I've been saying this. He couldn't box his way out of a wet paper bag.
Bro, did you see his body shots? His chin was forward. He's punching forward. His chin is forward. It's forward as
I had the nerve. Guys,
age of 10, you don't punch like that.
Guys, I had the nerve to go to PBC's YouTube channel, and I saw that it's some little spot of him training with Malik Scott. It's like he looks so bad. It's just painful to watch.
And I didn't want to be that guy, but I'm like, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm like, dog, I never seen nobody look like that though in a body shot. He looked like a Street Fighter character, like when you press crouch. Like who throw like that? Like to the body? Like what does he do? Like who throw like that to the body? Bro.
Guys, ring, guys.
You still use your hook. But you bend your knees. You don't lean forward.
That's what I mean. When he threw like a right, it looked like he had thrown a right hook and he has leaned forward, chin out. And I'm like, yo, I never seen nobody looking like that to throw a body shot.
But guys, aside from all that, Wilder, he's in his own, man. He's focused. Malik Scott, he got him revved up. He might pull it off, man. He really might. You know, I think he could. I really think he could do it.
I'm not buying.
See it,
One way or another.
see it, speak it, believe it. That's the Wilder model. He really believes he can knock him out.
Speak
see
it,
him try,
believe it.
you know?
Speak
Speak
it,
and believe it,
believe
receive
it.
it. Speak and
Bro,
believe it,
can
receive
you-
it. Speak and believe it,
Can
receive
you
it.
imagine Rob McCracken sat there in his underpants and a purple robe, telling everyone how much he loves Joshua and this? Come on, bro. No trainer does that. Freddie Roach, no one would sit there. No trainer prays up like that. That's not a trainer. That's a yes man, bro. And I'm sorry, bro, but it's a yes man. That's not a trainer. A trainer is the one you look up to and he tells you no, yes, yes. I've had trainers and you're scared of him. That's what a trainer is. He disciplines you. You don't just sit. Oh, come on, boys. Come on. You got to see it. You got to see it.
Speak it, believe it, shit it, regret it, whatever.
He
Fucking
had-
Wilder.
He had a trainer. He had a trainer. He had a good one.
Well,
Why,
I mean,
bro?
look, no. You know why we can't say that? Because, look, for all the shit that we said, and I said this before Glovegate, I said this before any of that stuff with Fury, I said this. He had Mark Breland in his corner, and for you to have had Mark Breland there all those years, and you look the way that you look, it still is an indictment on Mark Breland as a trainer. Like I've always maintained, you have the right guy in your corner to mold you into a better fighter, because Mark Breland was like a smaller version of Wilder, just way better. But he's like a small, like as far as his physical dimensions, that he's a lanky Kevin Garnett type dude
Yeah.
that you just like
Dimensions.
a long,
That's it. Dimensions.
yeah, because he was like a long, skinny dude. So I'm like, yo, he got the right dude in his corner, but you just must not be very good at training because you've been with this dude and he looked like that. You've been with this dude for years and he looked like that. So you must not be on your shit neither. If he looked like that, he not listening to you. And if you can't get if you the trainer and you can't get the fighter to listen to you, then what that say?
Mate, when my trainer
yeah.
spoke, I listened. And that was it. My trainer told me go and empty the bins. I'd empty the bins. Whatever my trainer said, I trusted him that much. Yeah, that's my man. But that's completely different. It's yes, man. The story he's saying, listen, he's the hardest hitting heavyweight ever in the whole history. And this is like, Freddie Roach wouldn't say that about someone else. Robert Kraken wouldn't say that about anyone. No one would say that about anyone. The best in the history of ever. Come on, bro.
Bruh,
Why would you blow so much smoke up someone's ass?
Watching Malik Scott talk about that dude is like some of the most revolting shit. And but like yo, like dog, like the fuck do you want to do? Squeeze his ass? Like the fuck? Like the fuck? Like because I never seen no shit like that. Like bro, like the fuck you like him or some shit? Like what the fuck? Like
I mean, I'll tell you this though. The scenario, if Wilder loses the third fight, he's next on the chopping block. So he better be making some contingency plans.
My God, if Wilder lose that third fight, I don't even know what's gonna happen, right? I really don't, because I can't get a read. I can't get a read on the phony shit. But if Wilder lose the third fight, that man is gonna retire, bro. You think he gonna stick around to be a journeyman? He gonna retire and say, "Well, the only man that ever beat me was Tyson Fury," and that'll be enough for him.
Yo.
Great.
What's the percentage of a trainer? Is it 15 or 20%? What is it? 15, 20%?
Matter of fact, not for nothing, I think it varies from trainer to trainer, but I think it starts off with 15.
That's what I'm saying. Just suppose 15%. Say Wilder earns 10, 15. Come on, bro. He's out there. That's why he's doing yes, man. Blowing smoke up his ass because he's walking away with $1.5 million. He's walking away with that. That's what it is, mate. I mean, come on,
bro.
I ain't with that shit. I ain't with that shit.
You know, I'll never forget when Tyson Fury said about his trainer that, yo, if he beats you, yo, how can you make him a better fighter? And that just spoke volumes to who this guy is.
But it's
like
the truth, my guy. Like, look.
Yeah.
I know that every trainer wasn't a great fighter, and I understand that. But what's unique about this is like, yo, y'all two did that ass. You sparred him and you fought him. And it's like, well, how are you going to teach him to beat me when I spanked him? I made his eardrum bleed. What can he tell you that will help him beat me when technically I beat the both of you? It don't make sense. Like,
it don't. It's like fighting Floyd Mayweather and bringing in Manny Pacquiao to get you. Do you know what I mean, bro? It's not gonna happen, bro. Do you know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah, like it just don't act like look. If Wilder was smart, because Lennox is in the chat, because he in the comments, and I'm gonna say this: if Wilder was smart, he would have got Ismail Salas in his platform shoes and let Ismail work on the shit. he might could tell you something because he know how to beat a motherfucker. He really do. He know how to beat a motherfucker. But you got a dude that Fury was beating on, teaching you how to beat Fury? All right.
But Wilder lives on energy. It's more energy. Wilder lives on the energy of his people. That's what it is. The energy. Come on, bro. The energy. Come on. Fucking hell. It's called intelligence, bro. That's what you learn off. Someone's going to teach you how to do shit proper. Not an energy. I put some crystals in my finger and I picked up anyone with a crystal. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
Like, like I said, because I don't trust Wilder and because I don't trust Fury, I'm really not even presumptuous enough to make a prediction because I'm like, yo, a part of me still feel like that shit is fake. And if it's fake, what's the next? What would shock the world if Wilder won? If you gonna write a dumbass story, right? A WWE type story, Wilder rose like a phoenix from Arizona and he won the belt back. Then he went over there and knocked out Andy Ruiz. It's the perfect setup. It's the perfect
so what happens
setup.
Then? Number 4, then, Drew. Number 4. That's what
not number 4.
For
not number 4. Not number 4. What they would do, and this is just me writing a story. Let's call it me writing a story. Let's say Wilder wins the 3rd fight, gets the belt back. Who do you fight after that? Who's fighting on his undercard? Who's fighting on his undercard? He's
staying on PBC Island. PBC Island. That's where that belt is staying.
Now this is what I mean. This is what I mean. No, not Andy Ruiz. Kovnowski and Helenius. Who was one of the potential candidates for a Wilder fight before he lost? Adam Kovnowski. That was they was trying to set that up. It's not a coincidence.
That belt is staying over there, mate. It's staying over there.
I'm trying to tell it to you. You have Helenius and Kovnowski fighting on the undercard, right? I believe if Wilder wins the fight, the next guy that he fights is the winner of that fight, possibly.
That's exactly what I've been saying. I've been saying that for like at least 2 months. I said, "Yep, the winner of Helenius Kanaki 2 is gonna if Wilder wins, that's gonna be his next fight, the winner of that fight." Bingo. I will say I do like the undercard though. I mean, listen, I don't know about I know how you guys feel about it, but I do like that fight because it's just intriguing because I want to see if Kanaki can beat Helenius in a rematch and also Jagba versus Sanchez, and that's gonna be a decent.
Okay, I wanna say this. Going back to the Triple G and versus Wilder conversation from who has the better resume. Triple G has had a very shitty promoter.
Yes.
In the name of Tom Loeffler. For me, the only reason Triple G wasn't the man is supposed to be in the middleweight division is because Tom. Now, the only reason Deontay Wilder stay as a champion as long as he did is because he was with PBC. There is no way he gets all those.
We can't do that, Leo. We can't do that. I'm gonna tell you why. Who has? I'm gonna give you an example. Look at Jaime Munguia's resume. Right? Look at that shit.
Yeah.
Look at that shit. Right? Look familiar? Yeah. Does it look familiar? Doesn't Jaime Munguia's resume look like Wilder's? Am I bugging out? The dude got damn near 40 fights. He ain't fought shit. Liam Smith was all right actually, but
Zarabetta was a good test. Nah, kitty. Nah, just
Tom, bro. It's Tom. When he fought Zaramata, he still is number 1 WBO, bro. You supposed to fight Andre. You've been at middleweight for a year. What are you waiting for? You don't want another one. You don't want to fight
Okay,
Andre.
Julius, but we're talking about Jaime Munguia. How many defenses he had?
Espera. Look, what I'm telling you, Leo, is that if Wilder fought absolutely no one for 7 years, PBC wasn't around for those 7 years. You know who he was with? Golden Boy. Golden Boy was protecting him.
Yeah, but
look at Golden Boy and Ryan. Ryan about to fight in another eliminator, Leo. Another one.
Yeah, but he was a champion. He had a title. He had contenders to defeat, supposedly. He had Dylan White.
Look.
How many times is supposed to fight Dylan White?
Hold on. This is what I'm gonna say. Look, in other words, the first 7 years of Wilder's career, right? We cannot blame PBC for that because PBC wasn't around. He was a Golden Boy Promotions fighter then, and Golden Boy was doing with him what they're doing with Ryan, what they're doing with Jaime. Don't you see how many fucking fights Jaime has? He
Did
got
PBC
mad.
start in 2015?
Yeah. And
Mhm.
he didn't win a WBC title till 2015. So
Yep.
everything
Yep.
after 2015, that's PBC. But all that nothing, that big fucking hulking mass of nothing, that's Golden Boy. All them fat cruiserweights, them guys that's 39 and 42 years old, and they fucking 5'11" in the heavyweight division. That's Golden Boy, bro. That's who they had that dude fighting. So we
Harold
can't put
Sconiers, the great Harold Sconiers.
the great Harold Sconiers, bro. That's why I say that, like, it's not all like, yeah, PBC protecting them, no doubt about it. Yeah, they are. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not.
Matter of fact, Rick, I don't know if you're aware of this, but he fought a guy called Dustin Nichols. Have you ever seen that fight? Dude, it's like that was hilarious. It's like he tries to showboat and do some all wild. It gets dropped by this fat dude. They picked at a hometown buffet or some shit.
Like some Tank Abbott looking motherfucker. I'm like, yo, dog, like this, you like where y'all found that dude at, B? And this is one of those highlight reel knockouts. I'm like, yo, dog, is y'all serious? Like, so I'm gonna say this. Look, yes, the PBC is protecting Wilder, no doubt about, or they have. But it before it became about the PBC, it was Golden Boy protecting them because they had this man fighting 32 professional fights against absolutely no one. Absolutely no one. Except
truck drivers.
Cruiserweights.
Truck drivers. You can say that.
Some truck drivers. They found a couple of truck drivers at a truck stop for him to fight. And that was Golden Boy. That wasn't the PBC.
I will say this though, that Bermane Stavern rematch is one of the funniest things I've ever seen personally in a boxing ring. I mean, just he's like bumping his chest like, yeah, bring it, bro, and he's just.
Look, he had two of the most pointless rematches I've ever seen. Like, who wanted to see a Luis Ortiz rematch? Who the fuck was asking for that? Who the fuck was like the Stavern shit is negligible because he was fake the mandatory, basically.
Yeah.
Most people don't remember. Stavern was supposed to fight Povetkin in a final eliminator. Povetkin got popped for the second time for Osterin, so they gave the Mando status straight away to Stavern. That's how he became. It's stupid because he should have.
They both popped. They both popped for that fight, right? Stavern and Povetkin.
They popped, but what Stavern popped for was not something that's a performance-enhancing drug. It was It was a banned substance, yes, but it's banned because it's dangerous to the fighter. It adds nothing to performance. So he get popped, he get a slap on the wrist, but it's like, yo, dog, like, why didn't you just have Stavern fight the next man in line? That would have made more for the final eliminator. The dude had not fought in 2 years the night of the fight. This is the mandatory. A dude that ain't fought in 2 years. It's wild out here, man. I could go on with the fucking shenanigans, but I have already. That's why I'm like, I don't like revising Wilder career because I have done endless videos about this dude. I'm like, yo, this is the biggest hype job.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Biggest hype job I've ever seen.
Thank you.
The only dude that's comes close to being as big a hype job as Wilder is Gervonta, but at least Gervonta fought Jose Pedraza, and it didn't take him 32 fights to do it.
But can I say something here, bro? It's like with the Americans over there, especially African Americans, right? We over in Britain, we respect them, we appreciate them. But over here, no matter what, they hate us. They think we're fucking idiots. Do you know what I mean, bro? It's like we got nothing.
That's not true. Listen. That's not true. That's not true. You can't let. I say this all the time in every video.
Not all. No.
I'm gonna say. Let me get it in. You can't let Twitter, you can't let YouTube convince you that you have an enemy, because that's only a small population of people that you're looking at. That's just a group of individuals. They don't speak for the majority. For starters, the majority of people in America aren't even fucking boxing fans. So you're already dealing with a minority of individuals that watch boxing. Then you're dealing with another minority that are obsessed with Wilder. But that's not everybody, because everybody ain't a Wilder fan. I know a lot of guys that ain't Wilder fans, and they just as American as me. They're like, that dude is trash. That dude is garbage.
But I'm going off like
look.
Going off YouTube and shit.
No, look, Leighton. The dude that's training Wilder, I swear to God, I'm not capping, I'm not gassing it. Don House is on camera clowning Wilder 4 or 5 years ago, talking about, yo, Wilder gonna fight my grandmother next. Because everybody knew this dude don't fight shit. The dude that he just hired to train him was clowning him years ago because everybody knew this man don't fight nobody. You not fight. How you got 32 fights of nobody? That's wild. How you got away with that for all them years?
Exactly. You look at the top 10 in the WBC. How many has Wilder fought?
Now, let me read the super chat.
How many has he fought?
Now, let me read the super chat. Dude said that Tyson Fury's story, knowing a friend of Fury's trainer, sounds like a PBC cult member in a closet that needs to believe the circus is real. Nah, man. I heard it. I don't believe a lot of shit that I hear. Munguia should fight Yanni Beck. Nah, that won't happen. That will not happen. That will not happen. Before he fights Yanni Beck, he'll fucking fight Andre because Yanni Beck is a more dangerous fight. What I'm saying is, when you're dealing with the American fight fan, you are already dealing with a minority group within the country because most Americans aren't boxing fans. We're already a minority. As boxing fans in America, we're already a minority. Then you go into subgroups like YouTubers and Twitter people, and that's a minority within a minority because the majority of Americans don't even watch boxing, all right? So you can't let YouTubers give you an impression of an entire population. Like, nah, everybody ain't a Wilder fan. If everybody was a Wilder fan, the fucking fight would have broke even, at least.
Yo, my man, Leighton. Listen, no. Wait. Let me get this out right quick. Yeah, Leighton, my man. I'm African American myself, and Wilder gets my damn nerves. So,
I want to say this. I want to say this. After the one of your live streams, Julius, I found Adrian Bronner's Instagram account, and I watched the post. And started to watch the comments. After watching 10, 20 comments, I thought, man, okay, I can let this information, this post, be the standard for American public, for American fans, because those comments were wild.
Listen. I had a group of 49,000 people on Facebook before I even started uploading videos on YouTube like that, right? And that group was it was an accurate barometer for how the shit really is. That you got to understand. If the majority, if Broner, for example, as a fighter, was really popping like that, he wouldn't have money problems. Why? Because you'd have fans that pay money to see you. If you got money problems, you know why that is? Because you ain't got fans that pay to see you. You're not popping like that. If Danny Garcia is an obscure motherfucker, he posts like they tried to make him the face of Puerto Rican boxing and he ain't pop. He is not the face of Puerto Rican boxing. All these guys that you see that they'll tell you they a star, bro, if you was a star, you'd be doing Canelo numbers. You're not doing those numbers because you're not a fucking star. Fuck around, Conor Benn in the UK puts more asses in more seats than Danny Garcia does in America. Stop me when I tell a fucking lie. Fuck around. Josh Warren, wait a minute. Josh Warrington just put 20,000 motherfuckers in the seats in Leeds. Can Danny do that here? No. Can Broner do that here? No. Can Keith do that here? No. Not by themselves. He did that shit with Mauricio Herrera. 20,000 in Leeds. These guys over here can't do that. So when you see people on social media trying to tell you that they a star, don't argue with them. No, you know better. No, they not a star. Because I could put you in there. If I put Danny in there with a Mauricio Herrera guy, you think 20,000 people going to show up? No, 20,000 people going to ask you, who's Danny Garcia? Who is that? Who the fuck is that? That's what 20,000 people... Go ahead.
Dude, this is my argument, right? Because I was arguing with someone earlier on another channel. I was saying, say Wilder wins and say Joshua wins, we go for undisputed, right? They're saying it's got to go to America, PBC. That's where all the money is. And they can wait there. Manny Pacquiao, his biggest pay-per-views, biggest star, 200,000 pay-per-views. If Wilder comes over to the UK and he fights Joshua for undisputed, you're looking 2 million pay-per-views. All right, it's 25 bucks a time, which is $30 a year. it's still more money. But he's saying, no, it's more money in America. You're not guaranteed with that. But over here, you're guaranteed to it 2
Now,
million fucking pay-per-views.
Leighton. See, and this is why I say this, right? The dude you talk to, I'm 100% confident that dude does not spend no money on pay-per-views, right? So look at the situation for what it is. You have a person that does not buy pay-per-views arguing with you about the virtue of pay-per-views. Why the fuck would I be talking to somebody? Like, I ain't gonna argue with you, bro. I ain't gonna do it. I learned my lesson in the Facebook groups. Like, why am I arguing this dumb shit? These cats don't even buy these fights. How do I know? Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. For all this fanfare that you see on Twitter, for example, about Gervonta Davis, all he sold was 215,000, bro. That's it. You're not a star.
That ain't shit.
Bro, Canelo sold more than that with fucking Liam Smith, and nobody in this country even knew who that was. And he sold more than that with Liam Smith. Lara, he sold more than that with Lara, 325,000. Nobody even knew who Lara was, and Canelo sold more than that. Those is his worst numbers. So that's saying that Errol Spence, his median number, for example, for a fight is worse than Canelo's. It's worse. Your best is his worst, basically.
He's the cash cow. He's the cash cow of the division, right?
That's exactly.
But that's what I'm saying to you. Because pay-per-view over there, like your big stars right now, this guy was chucking in my face, Floyd Mayweather sells me. I said, it's not Floyd Mayweather, mate. You're talking the best, 250,000. That's it. When you talk of that money, and you take it to the UK, you're getting 2 mil, mil and a half. Joshua sells a mil anyway, but if you put it in unification, it's 2 mil. I'm telling you, it's 2 mil. Everyone will come out over here, but the money's in America. Well, I don't think it is, bro.
Listen, that argument about the money being in America is based on antiquated sentiments about boxing, because we're seeing that the money's not in America. We're seeing that it's not. How are we seeing that? Look at the fucking pay-per-view buys, bro. That's all you gotta look at.
Thank you.
That's all you gotta look at.
Very much.
I don't argue, like, all that arguing about shit. Like, look, the guys that say that, they don't even buy them fucking fights. So I'm not gonna sit there and argue some shit that I already know. No, the money's not over here. I'm sorry. The UK boxing scene has money coming through right now. The Russian boxing scene.
We will say that. We will say that.
The Russian boxing scene got money coming through. The Japan. Why you think it? I'm gonna ask you a question, Leighton. Where is Gennady Golovkin looking to fight at the end of the year? Is it
Japan,
America?
Because he knows that's a new market. That's the new market. Because that guy, what's his name? Jin Zhang. The whole idea that he had him on the zone was because he was going to do super fight Joshua in China, and that's where the big money was going to be. Big pay-per-view was going to be.
You have two guys in the middleweight division that Gennady Golovkin could fight on either a pay-per-view, or he could get a lot of money up front to fight. He could get a lot of money guaranteed to fight Andre on the zone, or he could fight Charlo on pay-per-view, right? Who does he choose? The Murata guy. Why? Because Murata puts up ridiculous fucking... The numbers that man puts up fighting guys like Steven Butler is ridiculous, bro. The money is more over there.
Golovkin's part Asian as well, isn't he? He is part Asian.
Yeah, he like a third Korean. He like a third Korean or some shit like that. So it's like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. And that's a market. Bro, look at the money. Like, you got to look at it. How many people in China? Billion.
It's basic arithmetic. If you know Golovkin is a fighter who's approaching the end of his career and he's looking to cash out, look at who he's cashing out with. He's cashing out with the Japanese guy. Why? Because the Japanese guy is a cash cow where he's from. Charlo ain't no cash cow over here. Andre definitely ain't no cash cow over here. It's basic fucking arithmetic. So before I sit there and have a 30-minute or 60-minute argument with somebody about America, the boxing scene, fuck all. I don't gotta do all that. All I gotta do is look at the boxing like, nah, America's not putting up numbers like that in boxing right now. They really not. They not. Not pay-per-view wise. No, they not. You bugging. You talking about Davis selling what? 14,000 tickets. Them tickets was cheap, bro. It was only a few $100s, man. The tickets was wild cheap. Fuck is y'all talking about? This is the shit I mean. The people that normally make those arguments, they don't go to fights and they don't buy fights. If you're not doing neither, then I don't need to be arguing with you about this, because I at least buy the fucking fights. And I'm telling you, the American boxing scene is dwindling. It gets smaller every year. Broner fought on regular Showtime. He put up 288,000 views. That's it on regular Showtime. Regular Showtime has 35 million subscribers. You couldn't get one to watch your fucking fight. So how are you a star? How are you too good to fight Conor Ben when you can't get 1 million people to watch your fight?
Thank you.
Yeah. And we are talking about the USA. People, it didn't spend money on pay-per-view. Look at the UFC. They buy pay-per-views. Overall, they get better numbers than most of the boxing events. But the UFC functions like a monopoly. So boxing is a global sport. You can't do that in boxing.
Well, the other thing is boxing is the only boxing. The other thing is look at what happened with Mikey Garcia and Regis Prograis. Mikey ran to the media first, saying that the zone couldn't afford the fight. I knew that was bullshit. I did a video on it. Like,
I didn't buy that. I'll tell you why. I think the reason he wanted a lot of money for Prograis because Prograis is a risky fight.
Prograis will fuck him because Prograis will fuck around and fuck him up. That's why he wanted a lot of money for that fight.
That's why Broner didn't want it either. That's why he didn't want it. Prograis, Prograis ain't no joke, and Garcia knew that.
Look, when they announced that shit, right? When they announced that shit, I was like, yo, Mikey, he really about to bite the bullet. Because remember, Mikey hasn't fought since February, right? So he been out for over a year. Crazy. And you telling me, and I really didn't believe it. Go back and watch the videos. I said that I'm surprised because Mikey hasn't fought in over a year. Prograis fought in the last 12 months. He fought Red Catch. Prograis hit hard than a motherfucker. And you telling me Mikey about to fight this dude? The zone must be giving him a lot of money to do that. And what happened?
He also had a fight last October too. He fought on the undercard of Tanks undercard. It was a short fight. Twice in the year.
He been fighting. And I was like, yo, the zone must be giving Mikey buku dollars to take this fight because this is a risky ass fight. And what happened? The fight fell apart. What he say? Oh, the zone couldn't. Bullshit, the zone couldn't.
Dude, you wanted how much did you want? That's the question to ask. How much did you actually want for that?
He probably wanted $7 million for a Prograis fight, and that's the real problem. All these guys think that people just supposed to throw money at him. Like, nah, they ain't gonna do that because that fight ain't worth that much. I like Prograis versus Garcia, right? But at most, that's a $4 million fight, and I'm not even playing. At most, that's a $4 million fight, if that. Because
Prograis, God bless him, he ain't a name out here, really. I mean, only hardcores know who he is. So
thank you. Because if I put that on pay-per-view, what's it gonna bring back? Is it gonna bring back $4 million? Really, for real? On pay-per-view, you gotta wonder. That's the existential question. If you put the fight out there for people to buy the fight, what will the fight bring you back? And if you thinking like, nah, this shit won't sell. Let's say this shit won't sell 300,000 pay-per-view buys of 400,000. That's how you know. I figure the zone gave this cat, they made the mistake, and I called it a mistake. They made the mistake of giving Mikey $7 million for the fucking Oh, that's Tim Bradley. Shout out to Tim Bradley.
Oh,
shout out to Tim Bradley. You know I'm a fan, Tim. You know I'm a fan. The zone
there's a storm in the house. Yes.
The zone made the mistake. The zone made the mistake. And it's like it didn't seem like a mistake at the time because we know why they did it. We know that they wanted to do Mikey versus Manny Pacquiao, and things fell apart. So I understood why they were courting him, but they made the mistake of giving Mikey 7. So if you give Mikey 7 for Vargas, what you think he gonna want for Prograis? He fuck around 110 because that's a dangerous fucking fight. Like Prograis, he don't got a lot of fans, but he's a damn good fighter. And Mikey hasn't fought in a year. You think he just gonna hop in there with that man for $2 million? No. It's wild out here.
By the way, Ring, what I was thinking, like how back when the Plant Canelo fight was being negotiated for September, what I was thinking that would have been icing on. What would have been icing on the cake when it was being penciled in September? If Caleb would have went to the zone, they could have made Prograis Garcia co-main.
Yeah, because it would have made thank you for saying that, because then it would have been viable. Why? You know that Canelo has the numbers. You know that if nothing else, Canelo has the numbers, and we could dole out the undercard because Canelo has the numbers. But because, for whatever reason, Plant, he gotta stay loyal to whatever fucking network it is. Like, this is the wild shit. Plant said, "Yeah, I'll fight Canelo right here on Fox, so the fucking fight could go to Showtime." This is well out here, B. It's
That's
well
right. That's
out
right.
here.
He did. That's right. He did say that. Oh yeah. Then a slap in the face. Then that shit ain't on Fox. How about that?
He said that shit right after the Truax fight. Like, yeah, I'll fight Canelo right here on Fox, so the fucking fight could go to Showtime. I'm like, see, these is games, B. This is just fucking games.
They're reading scripts. It's all scripted. They're reading scripts. I mean, I think they're being given scripts to read for the post-fight interviews because everything is just so rehearsed at this point. We know what they're gonna say. Oh, we don't know what's next. I got to call out and see what's going on with that. You know. So,
and look, if honestly, Phil, if the production value were there, if I were getting something for my money, then I would advocate for the pay-per-view over the DAZN platform. But the way I see it, the only ones that benefit from more pay-per-views are the network executives and the greedy people. I, as a consumer, I don't benefit any more from that fight being on Showtime than if Caleb would have just went to DAZN and let them do the fight. Let them do it. You know what I mean? They got money, but you want 10 mil, right? And you're not even a $10 million fighter. I'm not trying to knock him, but be real. What fight? Take Canelo out of this shit, take him out, and put motherfucking Benavidez in. Is that a $10 million fight? No. You wildin'. That fight
Caleb says it's not about money, right? But what's with the $10 million price tag? You wanted more money than Billy and Callum got. So, but if it's not about money, then why the high price tag? Why the high purse? And if it's not about money,
this is the wild shit I'm saying. That it's like, yo, and he gonna get his ass beat for all that.
He gonna get fucked up real good. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. I really am. Matter of fact, I'm actually buying popcorn and I'm making it a party.
Why you think I'm buying that? Why you think I'm buying that fight?
Popcorn, chicken wings, ribs. It's gonna be a party. Hey, Caleb Plant's ass whooping. Who wants to come? I'm giving out invitations.
Why you think I'm buying that fight? I'm like, yo, dog, like he talking himself into a real corner. I'm like, look, dog, just do what Callum Smith did. Callum Smith wasn't disrespectful. He never said no slick shit. He just had the fight, and that was it. Do that, because the more you keep talking, the more that little redhead is gonna beat the shit out of you. And he's already gonna beat the shit out of you, but he gonna beat the shit out of you worse because you keep fucking talking.
Now he was gonna probably just knock, but now he's looking to put you in the hospital. Real talk.
Real shit.
Yeah, in the Floyd Mayweather era, when everyone was trying to fight Floyd Mayweather, yeah, you're gonna get beat and embarrassed by Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd wasn't going to bust your ribs. So he's not gonna fuck you the knockout.
I mean, Floyd, he would embarrass you, not just beat you up. But he'd make you look bad and embarrass you and make you look foolish. He would put a serious beating on you, though.
Bro, Canelo slapped him and cut him. He slapped him and cut him, dog. What's gonna happen when he closes fists? What's gonna happen?
Yeah, I know why all these dudes are asking for like $10 million, because if you're fighting with Canelo, maybe you have to retire after. Like Billy.
Listen.
That's a retirement fund. That's what that is.
And I ain't even playing. This is a prediction, and I'm not even playing. And I mean no disrespect, but this is literally what I think is gonna happen. Canelo will beat him, and then Caleb is gonna get Jordan pregnant and take a year off. Because that's what I would. If I just won $10 million, bro, I'm going raw dog. Like, I'm on vacation, bro. I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation, like, bro.
I feel it, bro. I feel it.
I'm going on vacation, bro. Like, I ain't even. Shout out to Tony Boswell. Much respect. Ring IQ in chat. Stopped in to show support. Hit the like button. I appreciate that, bro. But that's what I would do. Remember, they're newlyweds. They don't have a kid yet between them, right? If I just won $10 million, bro, I'm leaving it in. Like, oh, I got the money now. I'm gonna leave it in. You wildin'. That dude,
imagine if Caleb pulled it off. Just imagine that, man. That shit would be wild. But I know he's not. I know he won't. But just imagine if he did.
Listen,
probably one of the biggest upsets in the last few years.
Pull it off against who? Against Canelo or his wife?
Yo, it's real. I'm like, look, I've imagined the fight because I followed Caleb's career for years. If you go to the old videos I used to talk about Caleb, right? I don't think Caleb is a bad fighter. It's just that, like, yo, where y'all at, you haven't had them in between. Like, you ain't fought a Lara, you ain't fought a Trout. You didn't fight people like
Dude,
that.
Canelo said it himself. Canelo said at he said, "Dude, you ain't on my level." Period. And that's right. You ain't on you ain't on his level, bro.
Yeah, like you ain't fought the Laras, the Trouts, the Kotos. You didn't have you went from you like yo, look, he won the belt, right? From Uskateki. Fine, he won the belt. Say what we will about Uskateki, right? But the competition got softer after that. After you won the belt, you fought Mike Lee, the Subway guy. What you gonna learn fighting him?
That was a mismatch if I've ever seen one. My God. Like, oh geez. Just that's just painful to watch every time I see it. I don't know why, I mean, but just never mind. Go ahead, man.
So you go from Mike Lee, to Farfendugan, to Fagan Boots, to who? Truax. And honestly, Truax wasn't a bad fighter in his day, but it's like those is not fights that's gonna get you ready for Canelo. Them fights ain't gonna get you ready for Benavidez, much less Canelo. To be real with you, like them fights ain't even gonna get you ready for Benavidez. I'm in a place where I'm quite comfortable saying that I think Benavidez will stop him, dog. Why? Because Caleb always gassed towards the end of the fight.
I agree.
He always gassed towards the end. If you gas with Benavidez, he gonna piece you up.
And then Benavidez should be. I think he should, in actuality, should be probably fighting at light heavy cruiser because the dude's that's a big boy.
Yeah, that dude. To me, that dude is a bridgerweight. He a bridgerweight.
He's huge. He's huge. I mean, I don't know how he making super middle, man. I thought he should have moved up a long time ago to light heavy at least.
Well, he sniffed coke. He probably sniffed the coke to make it.
Okay, let's say hypothetically that Caleb Plant wins against David Benavidez. Now that Canelo is a 50-50 fight, this is not a 50-50 fight.
It's not.
How many chance you can? How are the odds for Caleb Plant?
I mean, look, dog. Look, crazy things happen, right? Because Buster Douglas beat Tyson, and Andy beat AJ, and look, Oscar Valdez, he beat Burchell. We all thought he was gonna get killed. So things happen, but this is not that, because Canelo has answered a lot of questions, bro. We could say what we want about the Clenbo, right? But that dude got hit. That dude was in there with a real hitter in Gennady Golovkin. He was in there with a real hitter, and that's not the only real hitter that he fought. Everybody forget that Daniel Jacobs could punch. He took out Peter Quillen in one round. In one round, he took him out. All right, now remember, Daniel Jacobs fought Derevyanchenko before Derevyanchenko ever lost a fight. All right, Daniel knocked him down. Jermall Charlo couldn't knock him down. Gennady Golovkin went life or death with him. Watch Jacobs versus Sergey and watch Golovkin versus Sergey. Jacobs handled him like he handled him. It wasn't that hard. Golovkin went life or death with him. Canelo went in there with Jacobs. He beat Jacobs, and it wasn't hard. Canelo has fought punchers. He's fought boxers. He's fought boxer punches. He fought all, like, what's out there. He did that. And Caleb, the best guy you fought was Uskateki. That's it. Uskateki. You're not ready, bro. You're not ready.
Maybe at 20%?
It's 10%.
I give him 5.
He not ready. Like, to me, it's like, Beats said it best. He did not have the in-between fights that you need to have for these kind of fights. He didn't have them. And it's Dubois versus Joyce all over again. It's Dubois versus Joyce. And shout out to Beats because he's seen it a long time ago. He's like, Dubois didn't have the in-between fights. Motherfucking Joyce fought a former champion in Stavern. He fought Jennings. He had them fights. Dubois did not have them fights. So he went with Joyce. He was right to go with Joyce. That's the same shit here. Like, Caleb, all you did was Uskateki. That's it. You didn't do and it's other people out there that you could have fought. Listen, I think David Morrell is a 50-50 fight for fucking Caleb Plant. That's a 50-50 fight. That David Morrell dude is not a joke, B. That Cuban kid, he's 23 years old. That dude is not a joke, man.
So you can see, because we all know Caleb's a light puncher, right? Let's just say, here's how the fight's going to play out. Like, Canelo's going to be stalking, putting on his defense, maybe slipping Caleb's put. I mean, we all know Canelo is very defensively sound. So let's just say Caleb cracks through and gets him with something. it's probably not even gonna hurt dude. He's gonna shake that off and just keep doing what he's doing. Oh, he hit
Bruh.
me. Okay, let me keep going to work on his ass. I'll stop him. You know what I'm saying?
It's too much wild shit working for Caleb because we already know that Canelo's slip game is something serious. Like his slip
Like
game.
the best defense I've seen was in the Jacobs fight. The Jacobs fight, he was just slipping shit like it was nothing. I'm like, oh man, look at his gas. Oh, I see you, bro.
Yeah.
I see you, Canelo. You can hit his ass with a bag of rice in that fight.
Now remember AJ.
Yeah.
Not only
Yeah,
is
yeah.
his slip game serious, but if something does get through, this man fought Golovkin
Yes.
for 24 rounds.
Dude
He
has a
fought
chin
Golovkin.
of iron. His chin is made of adamantium, bro.
Bro,
Vibranium.
And you think pity Pat Caleb that fights on the balls of his feet. He not even sitting on his punches. He fight on the balls of his feet. He not going to get Canelo respect. What Canelo going to do is he going to stalk him, come forward in that high guard, and pressure him the whole fight. And what's going to happen is Caleb going to get tired faster because he's not used to that pressure. He's not used to that. That dude going to get knocked the fuck out, B.
You're not gonna catch Canelo with that flicker jab that Caleb Plant has. There's no way. He's gonna sleep all the shit.
They putting up highlights of Caleb Plant versus Mike Lee and shit. I'm like, bro, you think he going really? You think he going to do that to Canelo? I
remember you talking like, so Jose Cotto could make him. You see the preview, Jose Cotto could make him do the shit. That was like years ago, and he was 19, bro. We're talking about the here and now. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, when I seen that shit, I'm like, I almost felt bad for Caleb because that's how I know that, like, yo, it's nerves, bro. Like, you know what kind of fight this is, man.
You're reaching, dude.
I was gonna dog walk. Home press said, Jose Ukiteki was gonna dog walk me, and I go, okay, this dude, he ain't Jose Ukiteki, bro. He ain't nowhere near it. So why you said like, dude, bro, just be quiet, take your ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? That you about to get.
Shout out to Jaime Nieto who says, yo, what up, Julius? Caught you live. Thanks for the quick IG response. No problem, family. Willie Lynch says 1% chance of a DQ win like RJJ versus. Yo, it's real out here. Like,
yep.
Canelo is gonna. We know what kind of fighter Canelo is becoming. Low key, ever since the Kovalev fight, I'm gonna say he's been applying a lot of pressure on guys because that's the fight where he just came forward in a high guard and was playing catch and shoot with the guy. Since the Kovalev fight, that's what he did to Smith, and low key, that's what he did to Saunders. That's what he gonna do to Plant. That's what he gonna come forward in that high guard. He gonna slip what he gotta slip, counter what he gotta counter, and Caleb is gonna get tired faster, and you're gonna start hitting more and more, and it's gonna be hard. Look, it's gonna be hard for his lady to watch, but that's really what I think is gonna happen. That's why I'm like, yo, dog, stop talking to this dude, stop beefing with this dude, because he is gonna beat the shit out of you. Stop talking to that dude, B.
I think the Golovkin fight teach Canelo that he can stand real punching power.
Yes.
So he doesn't have to play soft or what's the word? He doesn't have to be so cautious in these weights because he can stand the punch. So he's gonna try to pressure you as long as you will able to stand that pressure.
I'm gonna say the dude fought 24 rounds with Golovkin. 24 rounds.
And didn't even get dropped either. Didn't get dropped either.
Didn't get dropped. I never saw him buzzed. He didn't get buzzed, right? And this is just the facts. However he did that, through whatever means, he fought 24 rounds with this man and never took a knee, never got dropped, never got buzzed. And he got hit clean with shot, didn't get buzzed. So I'm like, bro, what Caleb gonna do to this man? What Caleb gonna do to this man? Remember, the only dude that ever knocked out Truax, I think, was Danny Jacobs. Canelo fought Danny Jacobs, and he had defensive highlights in the Jacobs fight. So I'm like, dog, it just ain't no way, man. It just ain't no way. There's no way. Word, man, shit. Jaime says, you see Caleb dipped into Canelo left hook when he slipped that slap. And yo, talk about it. When he went with the left to slap Canelo, Canelo slipped the slap and brought up the left before he even brought up the right. And most people didn't see, like, yo, you know he touched him with his left hand, right? Soon as he slipped the shit, he came back with the left. Like, yo, this dude he got cat-like reflexes, B. Like, and this is Caleb going, man, listen. Shit. It's wild out here, man. It's wild out here. But I obviously I have Canelo winning that fight. I'm more curious to know what is he gonna do after that. Does he fight Charlo? Does he fight Benavidez? Does he go back to Matchroom and try to fight Bivol? What does he do? Because we really don't know. Like he could, like I could see him being like, you know what, I'm gonna fight Charlo after this in Texas. I could see that. If the pay-per-view does well. But if the pay-per-view don't do well, he gonna get the fuck out of there. He is.
I was actually gonna. I was gonna bounce that off you. Actually, I mean, like I'm just curious. I mean, who is super middleweight beats him? I think Benavidez might stand.
I mean,
a chance.
Stands a chance. Stands a chance. Because the other thing about Benavidez, like we talk about his size, his power, but he ain't even been in a he fought Anthony Durrell. That side, like he fought Durrell. That side, he fought Ronald Ellis. Right, Ronald Ellis is not a marquee guy, but he's a big guy for that weight, and that's one of Canelo's sparring partners. So it's right. He knocked out Romer Angulo. Like the thing about Benavidez is the power is real. The power is not manufactured. Those is not lay down guys. Like Romer Angulo is not a guy that lays down. Ronald Ellis is not just a guy that going to lay down. So I'm looking at who he fighting. I'm like, yeah, that dude power is there. It's real. It's not the matchmaking. That dude really hit hard. But aside from that, what high-level situations have you been in? The highest level situation you've been in was the Anthony Durrell fight. That's it.
Yeah.
Willie Lynch says, if Canelo fights Bivol after Plant, I give up trying to explain to casuals that Canelo is a great. Love him or hate him, give him. That's how I feel. If you hear me talking about Canelo, somebody would think I'm a Canelo fan. Nah, I'm just giving him his props. They're like, I don't see nobody else doing this shit. I don't. So I'm like, I got to give him his props. The bad man.
I'd like him to move up to 175, try his luck there, see if he could. Because his trainer said that they were looking at a Beterbiev fight for next year.
I mean, look, if he go to 75, I think that's where he'll retire. He's likelier to take a loss at 75 than he is at any other weight, because it's like, bro, who at 68 hits like Beterbiev? Who?
I mean, I think that if Beterbiev starts this, because he'll be 37 in like January, I think, so he's getting up there in age. So if he starts I think time is going to be the only enemy of him, like guys like Bud.
Of course,
guys who are skilled. I mean, time is their enemy. So
but the risk is there, because what's the last thing to go?
Power.
And what does Beterbiev have?
Power. Yes, sir. Preach. He does.
So the risk is the same. That it's like, look, even if he go up there and motherfucking Beterbiev is like 37 or 38 years old, if he still got belts, he's still a threat, because he still got power. And that's what you need. Like, look, the reason a lot of people pick Golovkin, right, to beat Canelo is because they figured that Golovkin could knock him out. We all found out we was wrong. Like, I found out I was wrong. Like, no, he don't hit hard enough. Shout out to New Country, who says, who is going to be Canelo's toughest challenge? Benavidez or Beterbiev come to mind. Otherwise, he's pretty much out of competition aside from the newbies. Bro, he could write a book at this point. He could write a book. Jaime says, I'd like to see him fight Charlos and shut everyone up. I'm a David fan, but I just think that's the other. David do square up a lot. Like when he do that shoe shine shit that he did to Porky Medina, his show, like you gotta be in the ring with Porky Medina to do some shit, because you can't do that to Canelo or somebody like that.
Oh no.
Jacob Sims says, Jules, I watched Plant's last fights. First few rounds, Plant is on his toes, moving and cutting angles. At around round 6, you can time it. This dude is standing and waiting to counter. That's what I'm talking, that the dude always gets tired. So imagine, Jacob, that it's Canelo and he pressuring you and he walking you down in that high guard. He's catching and shooting. He's countering you. This dude might fuck around. He don't make it to the 6th. He might not make it.
Canelo called Billy, round 8.
Bro, and I've maintained this, and a lot of people thought I was taking a piss, and I'm dead ass. Billy is a better boxer than Caleb Plant. He's trickier. He's a southpaw. He's more herky-jerky, and he feints more. He's more awkward. Caleb is like, yeah, you a little bit slick. You got a little jab and all of that, but you don't got a quality right hand. I don't see you really getting respect like that.
Because I remember he was throwing shade on Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith's last fights,
And
like
I
how
don't
he
know
went life or
why.
death with John Ryder. How Billy didn't look so good. I mean, well, how would you look if you fought those guys? I'd like to know. You
Yo, look,
shitting on them, but
I
like
tell you what,
yeah.
John Ryder is a live motherfucker. He was in.
Yes, he is.
He's a live motherfucker. Like, he'll make you work for it. So I don't know why he trying to shit on him. John Ryder's better than Mike Lee. I could say that.
He's
John
better than
Ryder,
Vincent Farfendugan, as you like to call him.
exactly. Like, he better than them guys. Like, you talking shit about John Ryder. Like, yo, he was talking about, like, look, if you compare who Caleb won the belt from to who Callum won the belt from, Callum won his belt from George Groves, all right? George beat James DeGale, Olympic gold medalist James DeGale. Who did Uskateki beat? Somebody got to tell me, because I don't know. Who did he beat?
All there's crickets.
Who did he beat? But he won't talk, and I've maintained that position the whole time. I'm like, I don't know why everybody's shitting on those guys. George Groves was a good win, not a great win, but a good win for Callum Smith. Billy has twice the resume that Caleb got. How I know? John Ryder when he was undefeated, Spike O'Sullivan when he was undefeated, Chris Eubank Jr. when he was undefeated, David Lemieux. The bookies had David Lemieux knocking out on Billy, but Billy went in there and out fucking classed him. So Billy got a resume. I know a lot of people.
That was a schooling if I've ever seen one, bro.
That's a motherfucking schooling, and everybody. I did pick Billy to win on points. The video's still up, but the bookies had Lemieux as the favorite. They thought he's going to knock Billy out. And they
also Andy Lee beat him as well. So
and he won a WBO from Andy Lee. And Willie Monroe. He beat Willie Monroe on a rebound. It's like, bro, Billy, we could say what we want about the shit that he do outside the ring. But that dude can box, bro. Like, yeah, that dude can box. He's better than Caleb to me.
Adrian Broner even gave him his props. Adrian Broner, I saw him talk about like, hey man, they better leave that motherfucker alone. Man, he boxed too good.
Yeah, but yo, look. Go back and watch the fight because we all got our DAZN subscription. Billy was having moments in there. Before his eye got busted up, he was having moments
against Canelo.
Yup.
Yeah. I said that. I'm watching it with my boy, and I'm like, hey man, Billy is winning these middle rounds, man. He coming back. Okay, here we go. We got to fight, man. That's what I was saying. Like, yeah, he was picking up the middle rounds. He was. You're right.
Bro, I'd be surprised if Caleb, like, honest to God, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm like, bro, what you gonna do at Canelo? You gonna stick and move and shoot your jab and all that shit? Like, we already seen who got the advantage in speed. We just saw that, bro. Like, Willie says Billy got all 3 regional belts. He fought better competition than Plant. He was a legitimate champion. They really don't though, because when I tell people that he fought Spike O'Sullivan when he was undefeated, they don't understand why I'm saying that. They was both early in their career when they fought, and he beat that dude. If you look at that streak that Billy was on when he fought John Ryder and Spike O'Sullivan and Chris Eubank Jr., he was beating up the local up-and-comers, the ones that looked like they had a future. That's who he was fighting, and he didn't win a vacant title. No, he fought Andy Lee for the WBO. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, I don't know why they was shitting on Billy. But what you're not going to do, you're not going to convince me Caleb is better than Billy because there's no evidence of that. There's no evidence of that.
I mean, if Caleb and Billy fought, honestly, I'd be picking Billy.
I'd pick Billy. The only thing I think Caleb has more of, and I don't even know for sure, is heart. I think Caleb has a lot of heart. But I don't know because when have we seen him?
In like a dire situation and like where he's had to really like be tested, like where he got dropped, got hurt, something that's really going to test his mettle.
Like I haven't seen him in a situation like that. So,
but we about to find out though in November, that's for sure.
Man, okay, about Billy Joe Saunders, the biggest knock on Billy Joe Saunders is sometimes his performances.
Billy's inconsistent, but that's because Billy has a ticker problem, which is why I said that I think Caleb has more heart. Billy has more talent, but I think Caleb has more heart. And I don't even know. Once again, I don't know that he has heart. I'm just look. Jordan's fine, right? Good-looking lady, right? He had to have heart to go up to that lady and ask for her phone number. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of it. Billy's single. Billy ain't married. So you know what I mean? I'm gonna give the heart award to Caleb because he pulled a nice joint and he got married. He got hard. He got the man.
Also, he's been through some hardship. He lost his mom, his daughter died, all that. So that's weighing on him too. So I mean, so he's been through some stuff. He has. So
I'm gonna say Jaime says it's crazy if Caleb beat all these dudes. Thank you, because I say this all the time. If Caleb Plant fought Callum Smith, that would be the best name on his resume. That would literally be the best. If Caleb Plant fought Billy Joe Saunders and unified the WBO with the IBF, that would be the best name on his resume. So when Canelo go in there and he beat, they ain't shit. They better than the guys that he's fighting. They better than him.
Yeah. Unbeaten champions. Come on now.
It's wild out. It's wild out here, B. It's just wild out here.
And people forget Callum Smith won that title in a tournament.
The World Boxing Super Series. The World Boxing Super Series.
Most fighters don't want to enter a tournament.
Because
they can choose some pick where who are going to fight. They don't want to. Most of these guys.
And look, I have a feeling if Jose Ramirez would have joined the World Boxing Super Series, he probably would have lost.
You think he would have won? Low key, I think he would have. That dude, look, I don't like. I'm not
had to go through Prograis and Josh Taylor.
Wait. I'm gonna say this. Look. Zerto was Benavidez before Benavidez because Zerto was fucking huge at super middleweight. He was huge. I think he could have beat Caleb, bro. I mean Callum. I think he could have beat Callum. I think he could have beat Chris Eubank Jr. I don't see one guy. Remember, it was Callum Smith, the German dude that beat Rob Brandt, motherfucking Nikkei Holskin, and I'm like, if Zerto was here, he'd beat all these guys, bro. The only dude that probably would have given him a problem is George. But remember that George retired off that Callum Smith fight. So it's like you at the end of the line. You was at the end of the line in the tournament. Zerto fuck around would have beat him too. That's what make me sad about Zerto. I'm like,
he got to get another fight to do something, man. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really prove anything to me that who he fight Barrera, right? He beat him. I mean, come on, how can he couldn't lose to that guy, in my opinion. He beat an overhill Barrera. Okay, what does that prove? You know what I mean? I know maybe it's a stay busy fight.
Well, I mean, look, he beat Porky Medina before everybody else beat Porky Medina. When Zerto fought Medina, he was unbeaten. So I mean, he fought who else he fought? Did he fight Romer Angulo? I think he did.
Should we count Jesse Hart twice? No.
I mean, look. For what it's worth, I count Jesse Hart. You know why? Because when Jesse moved up to 75, the bookies had him as the favorite over Joe Smith. But they did, though. They did. They had him as the favorite, and Joe, Joe won the fight. So I still kind of look at that as like, well, that's a victory that aged well, because I mean, they still must have, the bookies liked him to win the fight. So it's like, it is what it is. All I'm saying is, if Zerto would have been allowed to be in that cycle of the World Boxing Super Series, I honestly believe he would have won. Honestly.
What about Jose Ramirez if he entered? Jose Ramirez?
He'd have lost. He'd have lost.
Yeah.
He'd have lost.
Somebody would have got him eventually.
They'd have got him. If Prograis don't get him, Taylor would have got him.
Yep.
If Prograis don't get him, because I still think Prograis, I felt like, remember, before Prograis joined the series, it was supposed to be Ramirez versus Prograis. That was supposed to be the fight. And I always felt like, Prograis, he'll hurt this guy. Like, I know Jose is big for this weight, but he'll hurt this guy. Because Prograis, he just hit hard, man. I don't know why he hit so hard, but he just hit hard.
He's got the natural punching power. He's got the natural power, man. He's got that pop. Heavy-handed.
You could see when he hit guys that, like, that dude really hit fucking hard, B. And I still hope. I don't know what's going to happen with Prograis, because he can't get the throne.
He just needs to move on and keep busy with anybody at this point, I mean, he just needs to stay active. Hopefully work his way up, become a mandatory for somebody. But
I say, if Matchroom wants to make an investment in a fighter that they could really do something with, it's Prograis. Why? That dude get knockouts, but he could really fucking box. And after Josh moves up, all them belts is gonna go vacant. Line him up to win one, and you'll have a champion. Because Prograis is good money. Like, remember, Danny fucking Garcia went 12 rounds with Red Catch. When they put that same Red Catch in there with Prograis, that dude was trying to leave by any means necessary. If I got to fake a dick shot, fine, but I got to get out of here. This dude hit too hard. I got to get out of here.
I'm admitting I bought that card, but the only reason I bought it was to see Prograis fight. That's it. That was the main reason. And also Steve Cunningham as well. But those were the primary fight. I was like, oh, program the card. I'm buying this. You know what I'm saying? That's value for money right there.
Listen, I don't know why they ain't signed him yet, because even though Prograis don't got a lot of fans now, with an engine like Matchroom that could get him fights, that could like really get him fights, bro, they could turn that dude into something. Like, they giving the bread to Mikey. Like, why Mikey got to fucking fight?
Like, why y'all wasting time with him? You need to build the engine around Prograis, bro. I mean, he'll give you good fights. He will get you he will get you wins.
Think about it. You know that he's a dude that's willing to fight because he joined the fucking tournament. He joined the tournament.
Thank you.
Jose ain't joined the motherfucking tournament. You could not get Mikey Garcia. And look, I think Mikey's a good boxer, and he hit real fucking hard too. I don't think he hit harder than Prograis though. But I feel like Mikey is a money pit, bro. Like, he ganking y'all. Like, he got $7 million from y'all to fight Jesse. What y'all paying him to fight the Spanish dude, B?
With the Sandor Morton guy? Yeah. That's what I'm wondering. Like, how much he bet? Yeah, it's like if you don't get $7 million.
Named Adam Sandler?
Sandor Morton.
Man, where y'all found that dude at, man? Like,
Mikey.
I mean, when they announced that, I'm like, oh, he's fighting Sandler. I'm like, who?
Fighting Adam Sandler.
Mikey has been saying that for a long time. It's about the money for him.
Yes,
he's been saying that.
Look,
I think for the last 3 years, he's
trying. I think now he's more of a businessman than a fighter. Honestly,
look, I'm not mad that Mikey getting his money. Like, I'm not going. Like, if you could be a shrewd businessman and get your bread, right? Get your bread. But for the zone and Matchroom to keep spending money, you don't see that he getting y'all like, yo, he getting the shit out of y'all, B. What is y'all paying him to fight Adam Sandler? Y'all should have, if anything, get Regis, because at least you know, look, if a big fight roll around, Regis will do the fight. He'll do the fight. Mikey, he'll blame it on you.
Regis don't duck nobody. He won't duck anybody. He'll fight anybody.
Look at how it breaks down. You price yourself out of the Prograis fight so you could go to Fight Hype and blame it on the zone that's paying you. That's wild to be like, yo, y'all really gonna keep paying for this dude? Like, that's wild to me, B.
I'd have checked him. It's like, bro, don't say it's our fault. Say the real reason why you wouldn't take the fight. You wanted all this money that we not gonna pay you for.
motherfucking Eddie. I seen the interview. It's on IFL. It's either IFL or Boxing Social, one of them. Eddie said, like, no, we have the money, but what you want for the goddamn fight, we ain't gonna give you that. You wilding. Like, fuck is wrong? Like, the fuck? It's wild out here, and
that's the problem. But that's the problem. I mean, I love the zone. I mean, I like that they came in the game making a big splash, but because the guy was talking to Joseph Herron, he stated like the problem because like they started a car problem because they started overpaying fighters, and then that makes them all worth more like more than what they think they are.
Yeah, like basically they inflated the market, and the thing is everybody does that, so I don't hold it against them. They needed to make a statement and make a splash. To get talent, so I understand that. But in the process of doing that, yeah, you created problems because you gave this dude $7 million to fight Jesse Vargas. Now he think that every time he get out there, oh, it got to be 7 or I ain't fighting. Bro, it's not you not even really a $7 million fighter though. Like, not every time. Like, you can't get that every fight, bro, or something like that. He probably want low key. He probably wanted 7 for Regis. I think he did. I think he wanted 7 for that fight. And they looked at that dude like, man, if you don't get the fuck out of here.
Nope, I want 7 or I ain't fighting. Forget this dude.
Look, Jaime says, yo, Mikey is a G and a hell of a fighter. He was just too small for Spence. I like Mikey because he was trying to be great and not trying to protect the old. Yo, look, bro. Jaime, I love you to death, bro. But when it comes to Mikey, it's like, every time I want him to fight somebody, that be the fight that don't happen. Like, I wanted him to fight Loma, it didn't happen. I wanted him to fight Regis, and
that would have been a great fight. That would have
And
been
I
a great
think
fight.
that, and look, I think, and I'm not even gonna knock him for this. I'll tell you what, this is the real issue that I have. I feel like he won't fight Regis after the Martin fight. I honestly feel like he won't do it unless they ready to give him 5 and 10 or something like that. He won't do the fight. I don't think he'll
No.
do the fight. Regis Prograis said the same shit. They're like, yo, look, dog, that dude is not gonna fight me. Why? They gave him $7 million for Jesse Vargas, and it's like it's basic arithmetic. He looking for that 7. Like, bro, I ain't gonna take a fight like that unless it's 7. So with that, bro, they ain't about to give you that. Not right now, and not in this market. That's not a $10 million fight. If they give you 7, what do they have to give Regis? Probably 2, 3, 10 million. You think that this is not a $10 million fight? It's wild out here, man. Anyway, gentlemen, always a pleasure. We got a huge fight tomorrow. Y'all get some sleep because I'm gonna go live for that shit. And it's wild out here. That's all I can say. It's wild out here.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for having me on.
All
Bye,
right, no
everyone.
problem. I see you tomorrow, Leo.